Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Dark Conservatarian, and I am here with just a casual hangout stream on my secondary channel right now. First off, opening up with Loudmouth Reviews. Say hi, Loudmouth.
Hello.
Yeah, so just no particular topic today, but I did see Gemini Man just yesterday, and I thought that'd be something that we would talk about for a little bit on here. And you said that you have seen it as well, Loudmouth?
Yes. I've seen it at in 3D at 60 frames per second, and I really wish more movies were available in the format because 3D at that frame rate really does give you an amazingly immersive experience.
As
It,
compared to normal as compared to normal 3D.
yeah, and the whole 20. It's not available at home in 3D at that frame rate. There's a 3D version out there, but still a standard 24 frames. But the Ultra HD disc does have at least the 60 frames, and it really is a beautiful image. I actually have seen the Ultra HD version of it, and it's an absolutely gorgeous image. I wish there were more movies in that format, but the movie itself, I would say, is extremely mediocre. Like, it's not a movie I would have really even bothered to purchase even on sale if unless except I wanted to check out the 60 frames because there's very few movies available in that format. I wanted to just see how it looked, and it definitely does look great. Like, it's a good visual demo material of a disc for that reason. But the movie itself, it has a very interesting premise, but it practically doesn't have an ending. It kind of just like feels like it just trickles off at the end. Like, feels like it's
Yeah,
building,
you're
like it's
not
building
wrong. It
towards
did feel
something, and then just kind of like, oh well, whatever.
it did feel kind of anticlimactic now that I think about it. And even
Same
at the
way.
moment, I thought that it was slightly anticlimactic. Although I've seen more anticlimactic movie endings than that. But eh. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the biggest reason. One of the biggest reasons as to why that it has such a low rating on. Well, I was about to mention Rotten Tomatoes, but they're pretty much uncredible ever since Cuties. But just a low rating in general is because of the fact that they had such a neat premise, but they did not flush it out very well to where that it really stands out amongst action movies. Like it feels like that the movie it feels like anyways that the movie did not do anything special as compared to like the Jason Bourne movies or anything else along those lines.
Mostly it was to showcase new like digital de-aging technology that you can have. Whereas like in earlier generations, if you wanted to have like an actor interact with a younger version of himself or something, you'd just kind of hire another younger actor who looks similar. Where Whereas today you can do the whole digitally de-aging Will Smith the way they do. Made him a Fresh Prince again.
Well, even then, I would say, okay, he did not look quite like the Fresh Prince with that de aging. Like there was something I don't know. He looked for some reason slightly bulkier and more built than when he did back when he did the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, plus the technology definitely ain't perfect, particularly at the end when you see it in full sunlight. There's just it's hard to describe. It looks pretty real, but there's just minor differences that kind of give off an uncanny valley effect because
Yeah,
the technology is not perfect yet.
yeah. When I was looking at the younger Will Smith's face, um, I thought that there was like something slightly, very marginally unrealistic looking about it. I mean, I thought it was like it looked real enough, but looking at it, there was still something slightly uncanny about it. And
Yeah,
spoiler alert to everybody. I mean, I'm not going to try to avoid talking about spoilers, but there's like a third Will Smith, well, a second rather, Will Smith recreation. You know, the one going towards the end of the movie?
yeah.
Like that looked like an 18-year. What they were trying to pull off was an 18-year-old version of Will Smith, and of course, Junior, the Gemini Man, he was the 21-year-old, and then Henry Brogan Prime was a 51-year-old.
Right.
I mean, I thought that the action itself was pretty cool, although I thought that it almost seemed kind of unnecessary of when that Junior was like taunting Henry on his motorcycle. You know, the one part.
Yeah.
like going more towards the middle of it. But that entire action sequence, it was pretty cool to look at first, anyways. Even though that it was all real cool and flashy to look at, it still just seemed rather impractical the way that Junior was trying to kill off Henry at that moment on the motorbike. Just seemed like that he was more taunting him more than actually trying to kill him. But it's a movie. What can you say? Of course, there's going to be that amount of unrealism to it.
Right. Overall, I thought the movie was very okay. Kind of. Like, I remember seeing it the week after Ad Astra, and Ad Astra got better reviews, but I thought Gemini Man was a better movie, at least. Whereas so again, shows Rotten Tomatoes scores are often BS because Gemini Man a much lower score, but I thought it was the superior of those two movies, which I saw like a week apart. I'm like, that was okay. Whereas Ad Astra, I got all these positive reviews. I watched it. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was a boring, pretentious piece of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I did not think that Gemini Man deserved to be rated like, what was it, 27%. And by the way, just very quickly, hello everybody who's in the live chat. Zachary Colley, Lonely Wolf, and Metal Minister, who says just now that he has to leave. But yeah, Gemini Man, I thought that 27% was being a little bit too uncharitable to it. I personally would probably rate it a 6 out of 10 at most, or at least a 5 out of 10.
5, 6 out of 10. Same thing with me. A perfectly middle of the road movie in every way.
And in all, I think that most of the people who watch the movie, all the Rotten Tomatoes raters and critics and whatnot, they probably think pretty much the same thing. That if they were able to choose that kind of a 2.5 out of 5-star rating, that they probably would have given it to Gemini Man. But because Rotten Tomatoes is so retarded with their rating system, it's a binary. You can only either choose fresh or rotten, nothing in between. So therefore, everybody was like, fuck it, just to go for rotten. And so therefore, that's why it ended up being at 27%.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there was nothing all that bad about it, just nothing all that good about it either.
Right. So, if I don't know if there was anything more. The one action scene of the one female character, what's her name again? Let me look it up again of what her name is. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Danny. Oh, Danny was her name, or Danielle, as I guess it's probably short for. But the one action scene, the one fight scene that she had with the one bearded agent going more towards the beginning of the movie, like, I thought that was pretty realistically pulled off. In an era of where that Hollywood is trying to almost unrealistically, rather, overpower all the strong, empowered female characters and whatnot, it seemed like that one was rather realistically pulled off. Like, she did ultimately beat the guy, but she didn't, like, unrealistically, in the physical sense, punk out the guy or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, and I also kind of like the little theme. I don't know, what did you think about the theme that the movie was going for of a soldier, of a man of war's character, how they do a self-reflection on themselves and they go thinking to themselves, oh, I'm a monster with all these kills I'm doing. I wish I could have undone that. And basically Henry sees the clone of himself as a redo of that to undo, sort of, more or less, the sins that he feels that he committed and whatnot. Like, how do you think that the movie handled that aspect?
It wasn't really even going there because he did. From what I hear, he only killed really bad people. It was. So I didn't really see that much of a post-traumatic stress disorder really plot line involving that Henry's character. That's why Henry wasn't really that interesting of a character that Will Smith was playing. He was kind of dull and just kind of a very plain Will Smith performance.
You know what? Well, it's not even a plain Will Smith performance, because a plain Will Smith performance would be something like Agent J for Men in Black. The typical charismatic Will Smith that everybody loves. Like, he was like,
yeah,
he
I
was
love
not. Sorry, what?
So, hey, I loved him in Men in Black. Men in Black is a classic.
No. Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody likes classic Will Smith, the charismatic city slicker or whatever type of personality he put on in his older movies. And ever since After Earth, he's been more and more unlikable as he's kind of dialing down on that personality. Like Gemini Man, he wasn't as bland in this movie, at least in my opinion, anyways, as compared to After Earth. But still, you could feel a whole lot of After Earth vibes with the character that he was infusing into Henry Brogan.
After Earth was such a piece of crap, and I cannot believe that he turned down being Django and Django Unchained in order to play in After Earth. My God, that's got to be like the worst filmmaking decision any actor has ever made in the history of anything ever. God damn.
Well, you could have the other charismatic black man play as him instead. Well, actually, Samuel Jackson did not play as Django, did he? Was it Jamie Foxx?
Sam Jackson was the villain of that movie. It was Jamie Foxx.
Okay, it was
Jamie Foxx who was Django.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was about to make a joke, a Samuel Jackson sort of joke, but never mind. It fell flat.
Yeah. Did y'all bring any extra bags? No one brought any extra bags. I love that movie. That movie's amazing. Quentin Tarantino is a fucking genius. He comes up with just the most brilliant dialogue.
Has Will Smith ever played in a Quentin Tarantino movie?
No, he has not.
Oh, man.
He was offered to be the star in one of Quentin Tarantino's best movies, and he turned it down to be in one of the shittiest science fiction movies I've ever seen.
Wow, the possibilities, the opportunities that could have been but aren't.
Yeah. Right. After Earth is an unmitigated, boring, soul-drenching, stupid piece of shit.
Really? I mean, you had like the king of dialogue writing out all this dialogue, and then have Will Smith in his own kind of charisma playing out all that dialogue. Like the combination there was perfect, but Will Smith, he turned it down. I don't know. I guess maybe Will Smith is not that big a fan of Quentin Tarantino movies, but who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But I'm saying that I heard that. I'm like, that was such a missed opportunity for him. But teaming up with M. Night Shyamalan, why the hell would anyone want? If you have any kind of acting career, why the hell would you ever team up with M. Night Shyamalan?
Yep. I'm gonna close that. I want to search up what the box office is of both of these movies. I mean,
yeah,
I can imagine that After Earth had less of a profit than freaking Django Unchained, but just out of curiosity.
But what is it? What was I gonna say?
Sorry for throwing you off.
Because my family, that's it. Shit, I totally lost my train of thought.
Oops. My bad.
Oh, here it was. Mark Wahlberg, okay, when he his speech on working with M. Night Shyamalan is probably the best ever. They asked him a couple years after the movie The Happening came out. He said he met Amy Adams on the set of a really bad movie he was in, and she dodged the bullet because she ended up not being in it. And she's like, and he's like, The Happening. And then he just goes on a rant. He says, yeah, The Happening. Fuck it. It is what it is. Fucking trees, man. The plants. Fuck it.
Okay, so wait.
The Happening was one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen in my life. It's a movie that seems to think that leaves rustling in the wind is scary. It's not.
Unless you're like a big old tree worshiper or whatever. But
there's all these shots of trees rustling in the wind, and it seems to think that this is a horror movie. It was an embarrassment.
And not to mention what Mark Wahlberg giving such a bland performance. Like he did even better in Transformers in my mind, but he definitely did better playing with Denzel Washington in Two Guns.
Wahlberg can deliver a good performance, but not in an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
He needs the right material. He's not one of those type of actors who can like take bad material and make it come off as good. He's one of those actors that if you give him bad material, he'll give a bad performance. But if you give him good material, he'll give a good performance.
Right.
I guess we could say. But looking at the budget, Django Unchained, yeah, 425.4 million dollars on a $100 million budget. Whereas After Earth, $243.8 million. Well, actually, that's the box office. The budget is $130 million. Okay, so it was still more expensive than Django Unchained, but it made less of a profit. So, yeah, there's the numbers for y'all.
Right.
Yeah, he could have.
I wasn't really speaking from a profit standpoint. I was just speaking from a subjective movie standpoint. Django Unchained, I thought was a great movie, whereas After Earth, I thought was a piece of shit.
Fair enough.
Absolutely terrible. An embarrassment to cinema. Though unbelievably, it's one of Shyamalan's better movies because compared to shit like The Happening or Lady in the Water, you can only go up from there. Or his butchering of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
Oh, at first I thought you were referring to, but never mind. Speaking of M. Night, have you ever seen the movies Split and Glass?
No. I just don't want. I can't really bear to sit through another Shyamalan movie again. I just can't do it.
Okay. Neither have I. Although I hear that, generally speaking, that Split is pretty good. That's been generally praised. Although I'm kind of afraid to maybe watch it and feel like after that I'm going to have to watch Glass in order to get the full context. Whereas Glass, I think I heard that it wasn't as good as Split. And so therefore I'm just afraid that Glass will ultimately ruin my image of Unbreakable, which I legitimately love that movie. It's very gripping, emotionally gripping.
Right.
Actually, the one part of when that the kid is holding the gun to his dad's chest, like that scene alone was worth the price of admission for the movie. Like, hot damn.
Yeah, Shyamalan's first couple movies were actually pretty good, and then I don't know, he just like completely trails off. I think it was the guy's ego. Once he got early success, he all of a sudden saw himself as a genius who could do no wrong. So he just started coming up with wacky ideas, and he just somehow thought, this must be brilliant shit, no matter what. When in reality, it's a bunch of pretentious BS.
Yeah, a world of where a sci-fi world of a whole bunch of people living in white sheet tents with a whole bunch of, I don't know, weapons that retract a whole bunch of metal blades against all these monsters of unspeakable strength. What a concept, right? No. I mean, it's
not at all. The Prime Commander Cypher Rage. What's his name again? Cypher Rage. What a name.
From a heist clip or something?
I think it was from Honest Trailers. You've got to be kidding me. Watch his Cypher Rage.
It definitely makes us want to rage.
Yes. Or the Signs was another one I hated. The end plot twist is so fucking stupid. The whole aliens are actually killed by water thing. My fucking God, is that dumb? Why would aliens who are killed by water invade a planet that is covered in 75% water and try to attack beings barehanded that are made up of 60% water? Why would you do it?
I think I only heard I've heard of that movie. Who was it directed by?
Shyamalan.
Oh, it was. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not referring to After Earth, are you?
No, Signs. It came out in the early 2000s, a decade before After Earth.
Okay, I gotcha.
It starred Mel Gibson, okay? And it's like a slow build-up movie to an alien invasion where aliens kind of come to just kidnap people barehanded. And the plot twist at the end is revealed that water kills them. So this girl who like leaves cups of water all over the house, they basically just throw cups of water on the aliens, and that's the end. I'm like, why would aliens invade Earth? That's a water world if they were killed by water. Why wouldn't they? Or worse, why wouldn't they were something to protect themselves from water. It's like it. Just imagine like us trying to take over a planet full of lava that was populated with alien beings that are 60% lava, and our battle plan was to battle them in hand-to-hand combat with butt naked. It's stupid.
Indeed. Zachary Colley is making a MIB3 reference. Hey, Boris the animal! It's just Boris.
It's just Boris. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. I kind of like Men in Black 3 better than Men in Black 2. It was okay.
You know, I can understand why people don't like Men in Black 2 because Men in Black 2 is just basically a repeat of Men in Black 1.
Yeah, it's a total rehash.
But I kind of always liked Men in Black 2. I mean, I even at points thought that it was funnier than Men in Black 1. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being all nostalgic about it. Nostalgia blinding me because I've watched Men in Black 2 a whole lot more often in the past than I have Men in Black 1. But how you would rate Men in Black, you would say that 1, you like the best, 3, you like the second best, and 2, you like the least best above maybe
I haven't even seen like the remake they did. I haven't even seen it.
Right, the international, yeah.
I haven't even bothered.
I hear that it wasn't too good, and I feel kind of disgusted of the idea of watching it anyways, just because it features Emma Thompson, or is that her name? Emma Thompson?
Who?
The one actress that plays as the girl in that movie.
She's in Men in Black 3, Emma Thompson.
Men in Black International. She was in 3?
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson.
Oh, Tessa Thompson you're thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. No, it was Tessa Thompson.
Oh, I know.
The one who,
yeah, she's that hot chick. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, jeez. Those looks are brought down, though, by the fact that she unironically defended cuties from the backlash.
Oh, she did? I didn't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah. In my own pre-recorded live stream that I did last year, reviewing a thread done by a guy named Ghost Jim, where he was presenting all the evidence as to why that the movie is so shitty, an immoral piece of crap, and all the defenses made for cuties by all these journos and whatnot. He also featured a tweet by Tessa Thompson defending it, and I was disgusted. Geez.
Oh.
So that
I guess that's another reason to not want to see Men in Black 4. I just thought it looked like shit.
Yeah, I mean, all I did was I listened to Critical Drinker's review of it, and he made a point as to how that it felt like they made Tessa Thompson's character overly competent, is what he says.
Figured they would.
Yeah, and that it almost seems like a whole good portion of the time that, if anything, Chris Hemsworth's character comes off more as the newbie than Tessa Thompson's character, even though, according to the story, Tessa Thompson is the newbie as compared to Chris Hemsworth's character.
So typical woke Hollywood trash, in other words.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Exactly what I'd expect from Hollywood.
Oh, it features Liam Neeson in it. Oh, that's a thing. International does, yeah.
I think on Liam Neeson, he's kind of I'll do anything for a paycheck kind of guy.
Yeah. In the Zachary Colley in the chat, in the ever-evolving fight between Magog and Faiza, what's the update? I mean, I don't know, Zach. I mean, between Magog and Faiza. Although that I would like to see from Magog's channel is if he and Faiza, or Thorn Midnight is the name of the girl who plays as Faiza, met up in person to do a live action fight between the two characters. Is that ever actually going to happen? Don't know. Probably kind of unlikely. But as it stands for right now, Magog of Morskar is just junk food as far as entertainment goes.
Yeah.
I will say this: Will Smith's "Treat Her Like a Queen" and they all are princesses. Excuse me. Remarks in the live-action Aladdin was incredibly cringeworthy.
Oh yeah, the live action Aladdin was a piece of crap.
Somebody said,
All of Disney's live action remakes have been terrible. All of them.
would you say even Cinderella?
Maybe not terrible, but kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. But me personally, I never really liked the cartoon Cinderella. I just thought it was overall pretty boring.
Well,
In
it
fact,
was clearly made because Walt Disney was trying to remake Snow White because it was at the time easily his most successful movie. But a lot of people don't know Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a huge hit in 1937. But all his subsequent movies they struggled to make much money because of the war closing down international markets. So he was trying. So when he decided to get back into making features after the war, he really wanted to remake Snow White.
yeah, I mean Snow White even like for a good portion of the time kind of bored me as well, except for the parts of the dwarves. Like those are pretty much the only good parts that I remember out of the movie. The princess and the prince.
It's a very worthwhile effort for the first animated movie ever made.
Yeah. Although I actually got talking to my sister about this quite a while back. Like the three Golden Age movies are Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, and Cinderella. And out of all those three, she and I pretty much agreed that Sleeping Beauty is the best because there's like the most going on for it. And there's, I mean,
got the dragon, man.
Sorry, what?
Got the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon, that makes up a pretty good action sequence, especially for the time anyways, and makes a better action sequence out of the three movies in general.
That one actually came out quite a bit later, though. That came out in the late 50s.
Wait, Sleeping Beauty did?
Yeah, that came out in 1957.
Holy shit.
It came out 20 years after Snow White did.
Sleeping... Well, does it still classify as 1959? There it is.
59, yeah.
Does that still count as a Golden Age Disney movie?
I mean, it was during Walt's lifetime. That's kind of seen as as the marker.
Okay, like there's like all these I don't know 5 or 6 different eras of Disney. Like there's the Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Dark Age, the Renaissance, and then the modern day age of Disney, where they're pumping out all these live action shitty remakes and all of their, and they really enhanced their CG animated department, you know, when they came out with Tangled, Zootopia, and Frozen and all that stuff.
Yeah, the Last Dragon. In terms of the CG animated movies that they've made over the last decade, a lot of them have been very good.
In comparison to Chicken Little.
Oh God, yeah, that was garbage. But I'm saying they greatly improved in the 2010s compared to the 2000s. Yeah, Zootopia was very good. Let's see. What was another really good one? Frozen. Frozen was good. I know it's been like a little bit overrated, but still ultimately pretty good. Big Hero 6 was good.
Oh yeah, Big Hero 6 and also Moana. Those two also fall in their CG animations department.
Yeah, they look like they've given up on hand drawn. Looks like that's kind of an old art form now.
Yeah, but
computer animation has advanced to such a point that it can inhibit the handsome flow of hand-drawn animation in a way that like couldn't be done 20 years ago.
Right. But what I was about to say was another thing about Sleeping Beauty is that out of the three movies, the three Golden Age movies that I mentioned earlier, Sleeping Beauty was where they had the most character interactions between the prince and princess, the two main love interests. Whereas in Snow White, there's like practically none shown on screen except for the prince like saying, "Oh, hello."
Yeah, the prince isn't even named. Where though, even in Sleeping Beauty, though, let's be honest, the entire second half of the movie, Prince Philip does not have a single fucking line. During that whole time, he is kidnapped, all right, held in a dungeon, confronted by Maleficent, broken out of prison, rides his horse to safety, then gets into a fight with a dragon, then rescues the princess, then meets his father. During that entire time, he doesn't have a single line.
I didn't really pay attention to that part, but I guess you're right. When Maleficent is like taunting over him, which Maleficent is another good part about the movies. Like, definitely a better villain than Lady Tremaine from Cinderella, and even better than what's her face from Sleeping Beauty. But Maleficent, another good part of that movie. But when Maleficent was taunting of Prince Philip, he didn't say a single word dialogue like "oh fuck you" or whatever. Obviously, could not literally say "fuck you,"
not say a single line. That's another reason I hated the remake of Maleficent. I thought it was absolute trash. The one with Angelina Jolie. I haven't even seen the sequel, but I saw the first one, and I thought it was unmitigated garbage.
You know, a Critical Drinker made a. If y'all can't tell, I'm a big fan of Critical Drinker, but Critical Drinker made a video of how the Cruella de Vil live action movie that they're coming out with is a staple example showing of what is wrong with modern day Disney. Is that modern day Disney tries to give all these live action spin-offs of all their classic Disney villains in order to try and make them seem like sympathizable or empathizable, at least.
You should not be sympathizing with Cruella de Vil. She's a woman who wanted to bludgeon puppies to death and skin them. Oh, God.
Well, yep, that's what they're doing with that. And isn't that the same thing that they did with Maleficent and her live-action remake?
Yeah, it sucked. Well, honestly, the Cruella de Vil trailer, it was so bad, I thought it could have been a parody of a modern Disney movie. Like, it comes across like something Saturday Night Live would put out to satirize how bad modern Disney movies are. It really did. It was that bad. Like, I won't be watching. Maybe I will if I really want to rip it a new asshole like I did. Like I did force myself to sit through the Mulan remake. I knew it was going to be horrendously bad, but I still suffered through it.
All right.
God, and man, was that one bad.
By the way, Reckless Truckers told me to tell you that he says hi.
Hi, Trucker.
Yeah, I mean, he's not watching right now, but yeah, Coin Monster, of course, you can join whenever you want. I mean, it's the reason why I send out the links to the appropriate group chats. And there she is.
Hello.
Oh, hi, how you doing?
Hi.
What's up, Coy?
Not much, just working on a commission, and I have mac and cheese.
Cool.
Right.
Making me hungry. I'm thinking about ordering a pizza maybe later today.
Uses telepathy to send you mac and cheese. Woo.
I was saying that the Cruella de Vil trailer was so bad that it comes across like a parody of a modern Disney movie.
Oh. I thought, that was what you were saying about the Maleficent movie that comes out.
Well, I guess both of them could, but I mean, the Cruella de Vil one, I was just making a point. Why the fuck is Disney trying to have you sympathize with a woman who wants to bludgeon and skin puppies?
I mean, there's a difference between explaining like why they do horrible things and making you empathize with them to an extent, because it's like kind of like with was the Kingpin and how is it Into the Spider-Verse? Like you kind of understand why he's doing that, but at the same time, dude, you made horrible decisions to get you at this point.
Yeah.
I've actually read the book 101 Dalmatians. She's actually even worse in the book. In the book, there's this cat character that she has, who she mentions has given birth to lots of kittens that she's always drowned.
Oh God.
So yes, she's actually even more despicable in the book. She's also married in the book.
Oh jeez.
So she
drowns every single kitten that her cat gives birth to.
Wow,
yes.
That's sick.
It is.
Why?
Because she's a Cruella de Vil. She's not meant to be sympathetic.
Although the sad thing is, in the past, like in the 1930s, or as soon as I can't hear you. Wait, is Darkon talking? I can't hear him.
No, I was just physically reacting was all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I was saying, the very sad thing is though, like as like recent as like the 1930s or even after that, people unfortunately, if they couldn't look after a large litter size, they had to euthanize them themselves, and that would include drowning them, sadly.
Well, and the book was written in the 1950s, the early 50s.
Yeah, but it's like it's one thing to like do it because you can't look after a certain amount. It's another to drown them just because you don't want them.
The Disney version, the movie is mostly faithful. Roughly, the biggest change that it makes is Mrs. Pongo's wife, and Perdita are actually separate characters in the book.
Huh.
The movie kind of combines the two into a single character.
That's interesting. I have not seen that movie. I don't think I think I saw that movie once growing up. I have not seen it in forever, though. I was like maybe 4 when I saw it.
101 Dalmatians?
Yeah.
Supposedly the author of the book had a Dalmatian named Pongo when she was a kid, and she wrote the book around it.
I got you. I mean, who's the more despicable villain? I gotta ask now. Is it book-written Cruella de Vil or book-written main Baron of Harkonnen? Was that what he was?
Oh, definitely the Baron Harkonnen in Dune. God, that character. Yeah, but that's like a hard adult book. That character is as vile as any character ever.
Yeah.
You guys
if you ever read Frank Herbert's Dune.
Right. I have not read that, but I read Berserk and holy shit too.
Or another good one was Gone Girl. I read the character of Amy Elliott Dunn was a fantastically well written villain, an absolute, probably the most irredeemably despicable female character that you ever get into the mind of is Amy Elliott Dunn from Gone Girl.
But you cannot portray females as villains anymore.
Oh my god,
it was written by a female author, Gone Girl, and I think that really benefited the book. It really got you into the mind of a female psychopath, and it's genuinely very chilling stuff the way she writes, because it really does sound like something like what a female psychopath would write or say.
You know, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
You know, speaking of female creators, I was just gonna mention I never known this, but apparently the director for The Prince of Egypt was a woman named Brenda Chapman, and that's like pretty much the only director's role that she ever had, aside from Brave. But in Brave's halfway point, she got fired and replaced by someone else. But Prince of Egypt was the only thing that she saw all the way through, and it's like one of the very best animated films of all time.
It really is. It really is a masterpiece.
But were you about to say earlier, Koi Monster?
Well, it's like, why are people afraid to write female villains? It's like, dude, because the reason why it's important to have a villain, especially like, because if you do feminism or whatever, or you want a female character to be respected, it's you got to take both the good and the bad, because for one thing, a villain, when being a villain, shows that you not only need the villain to be just as good as the hero, or the hero is rather the hero is only as good as the villains are, and on top of that, it shows that women have their own autonomy. So even if they do something horrible, it's like, guess what? She did it based on her own choices in the end.
Yeah,
right. And you definitely get that with Amy Elliott Dunn. She may be irredeemably despicable, but she's not stupid. She's actually like a manipulative genius who just seems to constantly, throughout the book, manipulate people, both men and other women, some of which are in the movie adaptation, some aren't, into bad situations, but she seems to always have things under her control. That's what makes her such a scary character.
Oh yeah, there's also a very disgusting female character from Berserk. If you read Berserk, you probably know what I'm talking about. I guess I'll say what it is. It's this thing called the God Hand, and basically there's a god in their world. It's kind of hard to describe, but anyways, they have these 5, basically they're like secretaries for the evil god. So it's like they're called the God Hand because there's 5 of them. And one of the God Hand is a woman named Slan, and she is absolutely disgusting. She's like this, probably the most disgusting femme fatale I've come across, because she is both a rape apologist enabler and as well as a rapist herself, basically.
Oh,
because she's sexually
blown.
Because, dude, she sexually assaults the protagonist Guts. And I think maybe, I don't know if it's because I saw once, but she might, from what I've read, she might do it a second time, actually. Although she's more of like a symbolic villain because, because if you know anything about Guts' backstory, it's kind of like his inner conflict regards to sex because he was a victim of rape when he was 9. So,
Right. I cannot present this chat comment, but because I had to approve it. But Zachary Colley in the chat says, "What woman? Evil woman? That is impossible." Simpson feminists. Oh wait, I can't present it.
And also, not to mention, because was it Guts' lover Casca? Because she gets brutally raped in one part of the series, and Slan herself stands there and watches her being raped. So. And on top of that, she not only stands and watches her being raped, she thinks like, wow, this is great.
By the way, speaking of, what were you about to say, Loudmouth?
Go ahead.
What was it? Well, in terms of like Amy Elliott Dunn, like her big thing was framing people for crimes. She does like it shows like throughout her life, this guy that goes back and like talks to old like high school and college friends and all both men and women who knew her, and they all have all these horror stories of her doing something horrible to them and manipulating them into a bad situation. And there's another one who you don't even find out what the hell she did. The lady just hangs up. Don't you ever, when she mentions that name, don't you ever mention that name to me ever again. If I ever see her, I will run the other direction. And then hangs up.
Ouch.
You don't ever find out what the hell Amy did to her. You could just kind of imagine it.
Yeah.
But like one where she frames someone and pushing her off the stairs. But in literally, she does it to this other woman, just girl in her high school, because she was jealous that boys were giving this other girl more attention, even though Amy was prettier. It was because boys were intimidated by Amy because she had an obvious psychopathic personality.
Jeez.
But that's how petty she is. Because she's a psychopath, and that's really how psychopaths are, both male and female ones. They will often want to manipulate people and give out really, really monstrous punishments that do not fit the crimes, and they see themselves as justified because this person like wronged them in a particular way. It's due to their inherent narcissism. They have such a massively high opinion of themselves that they view any slight done to them as it's justifiable, giving them a horrific punishment.
Mm. Oh, you gone dating a different woman instead of me? Oh, you deserve to have your name dragged through the mud, like
Yandere.
Yeah, she also got a lot of men she knew framed. It's just the whole book it just continues to go when you get into her personality. It's just it's really shocking. The movie's also really good. I highly recommend both.
So a Western yandere, huh?
Speaking of female movie characters, Gina Carano. Cara Dune.
Well, we found out with that firing situation that the Walt Disney Corporation really maintains their values in supporting concentration camps. Because if you think about it, Whelan Lang, who came out in support of concentration camps, kept her job as Mulan, whereas Gina Carano, who tweeted against concentration camps, got fired. Wow. So the only conclusion you can come to this is that the Walt Disney Corporation is very, very strong in their opinion that concentration camps are awesome, and you better criticize them.
And they're the anti-racists, huh? Oh, what do you know? Virtue signalers are terrible people. I'm sorry.
It's really stupid. Like the motivation that they say supposedly as to why they did it is because she was being allegedly anti-Semitic. Like she wasn't disparaging Jews. What she was doing was possibly hyperbolic, but was making a comparison nonetheless of how that liberals are treating conservatives to how that the Aryans and Nazis rather were building up to, treating their Jewish citizens,
Bruh.
Well, the Walt Disney Corporation really is vile from the ground up. It really does show just what absolutely despicable people infest this company. The fact,
Well, the ones that are in charge, anyways, at least.
well, yeah, I mean, not gonna say like every employee.
Like,
of that
well,
entire
yeah, of course, the
organization is
employees,
bad.
they're probably not happy with it, but at the end of the day, a paycheck's a paycheck, sadly. So, especially like these times, it's like what do you do? It's like if you work to get into Disney, it's like the most glorified corporation. You'll be like known like very well if you work for them, but at the same time, they're full of complete pieces of shit. So,
what were you about to say, Loudmouth?
Yeah, the fact that they would film next to concentration camps and thank an organization, it just really does boggle my mind just how irredeemably despicable that is. Just absolutely vile that whole company is. So I wasn't too surprised by the firing because I've known for a while that the Walt Disney Corporation is absolutely maliciously corrupt.
Right. What do you think of her being picked up by Daily Wire, though? Do you think that might be a glimmer of hope as far as competition against Hollywood goes?
It could. Oh, yeah. One of the real problems with a lot of right-wing movies, though, is for the same reason why most movies that are overtly left-wing tend to fail. There's exceptions. There are, like, Avatar is probably the biggest exception. It was pretty overt in its left-wing politics, and it was a massive hit.
Well, because of its special effects, or groundbreaking special effects, though, probably not because of its politics. So, because I don't have anything against politics in movies or whatever, as long as it's part of the damn story.
Right. Whereas far more often than not, right, movies that are overtly political and preachy to the audience, whether they're from the right or the left, don't tend to do well. People don't like being preached at by their movies. Because
God's not dead.
Yeah, yes.
I almost choked on my mac and cheese there.
yeah. The Ghostbusters 2016, Terminator, Dark Fate, the Charlie's Angels reboot.
It's so funny.
Wait, Coin Monster, let Loudmouth talk.
Go ahead.
So many of these movies that kind of are overtly antagonistic to fandoms, all right, and try to incorporate left-wing politics into their movies. Far more of them flop than not.
I mean, how successful was the Lorax as a pinnacle example of leftist values being overly preachy in Hollywood movies?
Sadly, that one was another exception.
Right.
Probably, I don't know why Illumination
Animation probably
make money. I guess they just somehow print money in every dumb parent in this country.
Because from what? Oh, sorry if I interrupted.
No, go ahead.
Okay, because Illuminate. No, I was gonna say Illuminati. God damn it, Illumination's business setup. They pump out movies on cheap. That's why they do so well.
But wait, Coin Monster.
So low.
But wait, don't you know that all movie studios are controlled by the Illuminati? So literally, you're being true.
Oh, jeez.
What you're saying, though?
Okay. Oh, wait. Me or Loudmouth? Sorry about
that. Well, in terms of the Lorax, though, I mean, the original source material also had kind of a similar environmentalist message.
Yeah, I mean that's what the point of it was.
Right, but the problem was it wasn't really the fact that it had an environmentalist message that was the problem with the remake. The problem with it was that the ending preaching and talked down to the audience, whereas the original book in Geisel's book. It kind of leaves it technically ambiguous. So kids will really think and ponder it. No, yeah. But the movie's like, no, that's too complicated. Let's give kids a nice happy ending there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the same with the antagonist too. It was set up in the book. Like, guess what? Anyone can make these horrible mistakes and lead to this horrible outcome.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It removed the nuance that really made the book special. It didn't really like change the meaning per se. It just simplified it to a disgusting degree.
Yeah, exactly. Also, speaking of the Lorax, there's this funny meme one of the anarchists I follow on Twitter made. It showed him wearing night goggles and holding an AR-15 and saying that the trees can't be harmed if the Lorax is armed.
That's funny.
Here, let me see if I can find it. Actually, no, I probably won't be able to, but okay, what do you guys want to discuss next. Sorry.
Oh,
Well,
Well,
I was about to. I guess to like expound on the point that you guys are making, as far as like politics and movies being fleshed out and not so much shoehorned in, but kind of eased in. It would be like the Ents from the Lord of the Rings, like the Ents and just trees in general, as they're like put forth in the Lord of the Rings properties. Is that Oh, hey, we got Trucker with us again.
Tucker, my man, how you been?
Yo.
Loudmouth.
You
I
gi-
missed
you
ya.
give Loudmouth a big old boner whenever you arrive on, Trucker.
Good to see you, man.
But anyway,
Those kissy sounds.
but
We're
anyway,
discussing politics and movies.
yeah. But as I was saying, like the Ents, like it was a clear tree hugger message that J.R.R. Tolkien and I guess by extension Peter Jackson was kind of saying as well. But it was kind of part of the story as well because trees and really Ents more specifically were not just living; they were sentient and cognizant to a certain extent as well. So it was not only just that politics was like forcibly shoehorned in a movie; it was kind of part of the lore as well.
Well, yeah, I'm going to be taking issue with this.
Issue with what the whole Lord of the Rings thing. If
In Lord of the Rings, modern tree hugger politics wasn't a thing. Like
fair enough.
like for example, they didn't explore. It came across that way because they didn't explore the actual culture of the Ents and why they had issue with others. Ents, orcs, and dwarves were always natural enemies because dwarves, they're the creator people. They're the ones who would use the trees for their furnaces creation, and
Right.
orcs do the same thing for war. And the issue they had was that the Ents were created to fight the dwarves to protect the trees because the goddess of the trees was like, hey, screw you, God who made the dwarves. You're cutting down my creation. Now my creation can cut down yours.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it literally the Ents were created out of spite because how dare you make something that can cut down my trees? I made those trees. Damn you.
What's the name of the species of angels or whatever that make up Morgoth and Sauron and all the other people that were trying to fight against Morgoth?
The Illumitar.
Illumitar. Okay.
Something like that. I might be wrong on my pronunciation.
I thought that
Illuminar?
I don't know, but I thought that the name of the god of the Lord of the Rings world was Iluvatar, though. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right about that. And funny enough, he's specifically a Catholic god.
Even though Middle Earth is basically based heavily on Norse mythology, that's why it's like called Middle Earth, like based on Midgard, what the Norse would refer to Earth as.
Right.
Well,
Although let's keep in mind that Middle Earth is a continent in the grand world that J.R.R. Tolkien had created.
actually, no. Middle Earth is very specifically ancient Europe.
I mean, I thought that it was just a single continent on the planet that J.R.R. Tolkien created. Like, I understand that. Wait. Are you saying that J.R.R. Tolkien was trying to, like, say that Middle Earth and the Lord of the Rings was real life Earth, but in the far past or something?
Yes and no. If you read the Silmarillion and other surrounding books, and then you connect them all, what you realize is what it actually is the ancient world is magical, and it's slowly losing its magic and becoming the real world.
Huh. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like any geographical location of Europe to me, so that's what kind of throws me off about.
It was shot in New Zealand.
Well, it was shot in New Zealand, but if you go looking at any map of Middle Earth that Tolkien or anyone else had created, like it doesn't look like the same geographical or continental shape of any part of Europe. It just looks like its own thing.
Well, you would be right, except that I would posit, raise the water level slightly, and then imagine like a million years of geography change happening, which wouldn't change it much, but would change it enough. You also got to keep in mind that like there are creatures that, and even still, even in Lord of the Rings, which is like most of the magic's already gone by then. Because before, if you read the Silmarillion, there's hard magic, and in Lord of the Rings, there's soft magic.
All right. I've never read the Silmarillion. I've only read Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
The Silmarillion reads like a mix of a Bible and a history book.
That's like thousands of pages long, isn't it?
Oh no.
By the way,
I don't remember.
I'm presenting Koi Monster's thing right here, everybody.
Oh, is this okay?
No,
Sorry,
it's totally fine. It's just a little bit of eye candy, I guess, to help us keep our thinking on track, I guess. But
The Maiar. You're right. The Maiar are the angels.
The Maiar. Okay.
It's not. By the way, I'm not tracing. I'm just making the shapes, and then I'm making sure they're fit properly. So it's not stealing.
By the way, hello, Koi Master.
Koi Master.
Yes, hello, Mr. Trucker.
Master of playing koi.
Have I met you?
Yeah, we talked once, remember? Probably because I probably sound different because my microphone isn't shit anymore. I got a new one.
Oh. Wait, when did we talk?
Whereas Trucker's mic is
when we were
always
talking
shit.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Darkon.
I said whereas Trucker's mic is always shit.
Yes.
How dare you state facts?
It sounds better. But you were on with me with Darkon when we were discussing our different projects. I'll have to show you the video. Also, because you probably don't remember, because didn't you get banned from Discord or something?
For a while, my account just disappeared, but it's still there, which is very weird.
So, shadow banned then?
I don't know. I think it was a glitch in the system. And I'm so upset about it because a lot of the times I'm the only non-atheist in a server. And my number, and my number was 8777. I was like, fuck yeah!
I don't get why that's an atheist thing.
777's the Jesus number for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Unlike 666, which is the devil's number.
Right.
I wonder why that's a thing. 777. Well, actually, I wonder why that either one of them have become symbolic to their appropriate characters.
I just found that out that Chinese state-owned media apparently is trashing AOC on Twitter.
Oh,
cannibalism has started.
You're not fascistic enough for us, AOC. Fuck you.
Apparently, because she talked about the beauty of the Tibetan community, and apparently,
you fucking deserve.
One account from the Chinese Communist Party doesn't like that.
Right.
I will say I am legitimately surprised AOC said even recognized Tibet's existence, because like a lot of online leftists and socialists just pretend like China's right.
Oh, that reminds me, there was that one VTuber who got in a lot of trouble because she brought up that because like she got burned alive for even less, because one VTuber she brought up that was it. Who else is it? It's not Tibet that she brought up. It was some other country that they're at war with.
Taiwan?
No, Taiwan. Yes, Taiwan. She brought up the fact that Taiwan even exists, and she got burned alive by the government for it.
Wait, do you mean literally?
No, not literally.
I was gonna say, wait,
worry.
how did I miss something this bad?
No, it wasn't that bad, but still, she basically lost her job, unfortunately, because of it. And all of her fans had to turn on her, otherwise they would get, they would get heat for it, because someone from the government would be knocking on the door and saying, "Hey, why didn't you disavow this person you follow?"
Very strange. Social credit rating.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, the exact quote here from a Chinese state account: "Why Americans keep electing such ignorant jokes to Congress? AOC calls like a silly communist clown."
Shit, even a retarded communist can be right once in a while.
I'm trying not to burst out laughing, you guys.
Yes.
You got family members sleeping at your place, Koi?
No, but I'm very loud a lot of times. It's like, yeah, Koi Meister, keep it down. So I'm just trying my best not to burst out laughing.
Yeah, I remember China Uncensored did this episode that was kind of both dark and hilarious, where they had this one guy who was using an illegal VPN to look at YouTube videos in China, in mainland China. Okay, and he found it from this Taiwanese YouTuber who was criticizing the Chinese Communist Party. So what he does is since he assumed that Taiwan was part of China, he decided to report it to the local officials, but they ended up just punishing him for using an illegal VPN. They're like, well, can't you arrest the guy who's trashing China in Taiwan, the province of China? No, we can't. Well, why not? Oh,
well, they are a province of China, yeah, but not.
Yeah.
Why not? Let me think. I wonder why the local officials couldn't do anything about someone in Taiwan.
Not like it's not a part of China, huh? Weird.
Or that exists according to China.
Although to this day, my favorite thing is still that Who guy just pretending the Taiwan question wasn't asked at all.
How does a person even do that? Like, I don't know if I'd be able to. Oh god, it just seems unhuman. Of how he was able to pull that off.
It is really disgusting just how corrupt the World Health Organization is. Their investigation into that Wuhan lab to see and assuring that the coronavirus couldn't have possibly leaked from there was a fucking joke. Want to know how long they investigated it?
They asked the China man a question and it was over.
They investigated for only 1 day?
3 hours.
Oh, damn.
3 hours.
Oh!
They didn't investigate shit. They just toured the place and then they just said whatever the Chinese Communist Party wanted them to say.
Then they just talked about how great China was, like it was a fucking Transformers 4 movie.
Yeah, China is love. China is life.
There is no Taiwan in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, I love that reference.
That I was gonna say that is.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
But yeah, fuck China, my god. Although I am kind of hopeful that America will finally grow some levels in relation to China, because now we have anti-ICBM weaponry.
Well, hopefully Joe Biden can serve as the wake-up call for the people. Otherwise, we might be more fucked than we are woke up.
Yeah, I can't believe he had that that executive order to allow the Chinese equipment into our electrical grid. What could possibly go wrong there?
What could possibly go wrong?
Guys.
Yeah.
Just remember, the systematic destruction and genocide of the Uyghur people and culture is just a cultural difference, all right? Come on.
Oh.
They're not bad people that are, they're not bad people. It's a cultural difference.
Jesus
Come
Christ,
on, man.
Yeah,
you practice cannibalism. Beautiful culture.
No, she's.
I mean, having millions of people and hurting them into concentration camps, sterilizing them, or separating children from their families,
literally forcing women to sleep with men.
Gross.
Yeah, that's just a different culture. Another thing that's amazing, though, I found this from Leawise channel. There are literal videos on YouTube, on these various YouTube channels, where Uyghurs give these obviously forced speeches about how they're really be treated great by the Chinese Communist Party in Xinjiang.
It's like at the end of this speech, do I get my rations now? These
are basically hostage videos, okay? Essentially, hostage videos are allowed on YouTube now.
What are you saying? Is it like full blown fucking like ISIS? The ISIS treat? Well, no. You remember when they would come up with the fucking videos back in the day? The guy in the cave, surrounded by the terrorists. They have treat me very well.
Yes, almost. There are these videos that are like shot with like professional cameras, where they have this Uyghur kid talking about how Mike Pompeo is a liar to slander China. this and that, going on this rant against Mike Pompeo. There's no way in hell that anyone could believe that this kid made this video of his own volition. All right, this is obviously a fucking hostage video.
Look, I will admit, Mike Pompeo is an absolute twerp, but he's right about this one.
Yeah, it's like we're not being committed a genocide, or we're being treated great here.
I get free blowjobs every day as long as I promise to love China.
Can I have my cookie back, sir?
Can I have my mom back?
Or, yeah, rather that. Can I have my mom back, please?
Like, no, she has been sold to Chinese man to breed with.
Glad to amuse you, by the way, Red Feather in the chat.
Yeah, and it's also disgusting beyond words that Twitter allows the Chinese Communist Party to have accounts. You ban the president of the fucking United States, all right, but you allow the Chinese Communist Party.
Bruh.
But I'll have all these propaganda accounts where they advocate.
Projection, what's that?
Dude, like North Korea and Iran have Twitter accounts.
It's unbelievable.
Also,
and another thing, like they have like hundreds of thousands of bot accounts, like of any major figure who's critical of the Chinese Communist Party. Read their comments section; it'll always be a bunch of ad hominem attacks by very recently created accounts whose Twitter handle just happens to usually end with a series of random numbers. These are bot accounts. These are bot accounts the Chinese Communist Party uses to harass their critics and just kind of drown out the conversation there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like anytime Ted Cruz or Josh Hawley or any of them tweet anything, they'll have like dozens of Chinese bots saying, "You suck, no one likes you, ha ha ha," with a bunch of laugh emojis.
No, guys, like,
really?
you know what really got me recently was Tucker Carlson saying, like, the U.S. military making this big hullabaloo about pregnancy uniforms. Meanwhile, China is being evil. And then just to prove Tucker Carlson right, the Pentagon insults and goes after Tucker Carlson.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's downright scary and outrageous. And it really shows China's kicking our ass right now. They really are.
What was it that Tucker Carlson got in hot water for again? I don't know the details of that story.
Basically, he said live on air that the Pentagon spending millions of dollars to premiere a pregnancy uniform instead of, just rolling it out like they do every other uniform ever is stupid.
It is.
Because the military's job is to break shit and kill people, and this does not help your job at all.
It doesn't.
And he's right, though.
What if a pregnant woman was still needed in the office area for military information or whatever?
No, he wasn't saying that's a bad thing at all. But he also pointed out how when they changed the uniforms for combat soldiers, they didn't make this big hullabaloo about it. They literally spent millions creating this like premiere event, like it was a fucking Victoria's Secret show or bullshit. And Tucker Carlson's like, "This is stupid."
Yeah, it is. It's embarrassing, and they were all straw manning him, like him saying that women can't serve or he's disrespecting female veterans, which is total bullshit. That's not what he was doing.
No, okay. No, and then they just proved Bill Maher right when he said, we're very silly people.
Yeah. Because I guess, particularly in the modern military, I mean, the difference in physical strength between men and women, though, matters a lot less than it used to, because there's so many like positions that were like a drone or a plane or what have you are doing really all the physical work.
No, but at the end of it's just the U.S. military brass is pathetic these days.
They are.
The soldiers, the combatants, and the infrastructure people I absolutely respect. But it was the brass that, did this. And it's like, yep, talk to any soldier, they will insult the brass.
Hey, guys, I hear that the military is like allowing ponytails for females. And then I go seeing a whole bunch of memes in response to that. men would like to have beards possibly as well. I mean, what do you all think about allowing beards in the U.S. military?
No, they shouldn't.
Stupid.
They shouldn't allow ponytails. They shouldn't allow beards.
Nope.
The point of the uniform is so that people are uniform. When you're in the military, you are a collective blob.
Should they just allow
well, they should have a rule
as well?
they'll probably pass a rule that the women can grow beards.
Well, not to mention, it's not just so much your collective unit, but it's also the fact that your hair can be used against you as well.
Yeah,
I gotta say, grabbing a chick by the ponytail is pretty fun.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh my!
Oh boy! Awkward. I do not know how to respond.
I'm just goofing, bro.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I have a boyfriend. Okay.
Since you mentioned that little point, I guess that. I mean, it would have to be if men were to grow beards in the military. Of course, they would have to like keep it short, but the same thing goes for whatever hair that they have on top. You know.
Yeah.
Keep it so that it ain't grabbable.
I can just imagine though, like in the scenes in Full Metal Jacket with like pregnant women in the lineup. Bravo, I just can't see it, you know.
Just imagine the drill sergeant yelling, "Why are you so fat? I'm pregnant. Why the fuck are you here?" then the drill sergeant, then Gunny gets fucking Me Too'd.
Yeah.
Oh,
drop a dip and give me 50.
Somebody should make that clip. Woke Full Metal Jacks.
Oh, that would actually be a great parody if somebody could make it. Yeah.
The pregnant lady's just like seesawing on her pregnant belly.
Ouch.
What you say? Seesawing?
Seesawing.
On her belly.
Child abuse before they're even born.
Hey. Come on. We all know that just because they're fully formed babies in the womb, they're not babies. They're blobs of cells.
Right. I forgot. Fetuses aren't people. They're not even human for that matter.
Who was it? Like Charles? Who was it? Like Charles Dawkins or whatever the hell his name? Who was like, "Oh, that's not human. It could be a pig."
Oink oink.
What? You said Charles Dawkins. Are you sure you don't mean to say Richard Dawkins?
I don't remember. It was one of the big atheist types.
I mean, okay. I don't like Richard Dawkins a whole lot because he comes off as arrogant and smug. But I don't think he's that fucking stupid.
What the heck is that noise?
Sounds like playing a movie in the background.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm playing Viva Pinata.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, but really, Richard Dawkins.
I think it was him. I might be wrong. This was years ago.
Okay. Richard Dawkins. Oh god, I don't even know. Human fetus could be a pig.
Like embryo could be a pig or something. It was just one of those. It was just one of those things that was like so clearly trying to like.
NationalReview.com. Dawkins claims pig more human than fetus.
Yes.
Okay, there's like this old tweet from way back in 2013, actually. Richard Dawkins, with respect to those meanings of human that are relevant to the morality of abortion, any fetus is less human than an adult pig. Can I just slap this pig right here? This British pig, but anyway.
Didn't he end up getting canceled by the left for like being honest about Islam?
She did.
Yeah.
I mean, are you really that freaking surprised? I mean, Sam Harris got that as well.
A militant atheist. Why would he like Islam?
Precisely.
Right. Islam is literally just militant Christianity. You can think of it that way.
Yeah. What?
You know, but with more rape in its story.
Oh god.
I wouldn't even call it more militant to Christianity. I mean, they don't even technically have a savior that dies for their sins.
Right. No, like that's why I said
No,
there's
no,
more rape.
Yeah,
It is different.
the Jesus of Islam, he like escapes and someone else is crucified in his place.
Wow.
Why the hell is that one of their
You know what,
prophets? That is.
That I'm going to be honest with you, Loudmouth. That almost sounds like it could potentially be an episode of Futurama.
Wow.
Right. That's why everybody thinks he came back to life. He just kind of like deuced out and got caught while at a Starbucks.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I came back to life. Ooh.
Can we guys? Can we go back to talk about the fun things? I don't like talking about babbers.
Babbers.
Yes, babies.
Oh, babies. We weren't talking. Well, we kind of
The baby
did
death.
off of babies, but then we got talking about bibbers Bibles.
Bibbers. Bibber
Hey, I
babbers.
like babies. They're adorable.
Oh yes, that's so cute. In fact, well, okay, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I was about to pull up little baby pictures, but
Like straight up, if I ever have a wife, I am going to be constantly knocking that woman up.
Ouch.
Her vagina will never rest.
Jeez.
Oh, dude. Well, anyway, I guess to kind of refer back to an old live chat in the live chat here, Zachary Colley said, like within the first 30 minutes, want to see decent sci-fi, Stargate. What's you guys' opinions on Stargate? Like, how much do you like
Love it? Love it.
I have
It's
never
awesome.
seen it.
How dare you?
Oh, sorry.
See Stargate Atlantis. I mean, me personally, I liked some episodes of Stargate SG-1, but the overall series I could not get too invested into because it seemed like that throughout a good portion of that series that they were just meandering too much into episodes. Some of them just felt like outright filler, which any series there is going to be an episode that has filler in it, but SG-1 seems to have the most filler out of any television series. And then it ends all fucking anticlimactically. I mean, yeah, they did have like the full-length movies to try to flush out the ending just a little bit more, but all the same, it just was unimpressive, that last episode.
No, I'm referring to the original movie. The original movie was awesome.
Oh,
Before
okay,
all the TV shows and stuff.
The original movie where Richard Dean Anderson was not playing as Jack O'Neill, yeah, where they actually had somebody who looked like he actually hit the fucking weights playing as Jack O'Neill. Like, seriously, Richard Dean Anderson, get to the gym more often. If you're going to be playing a spec ops soldier, you need to keep yourself fit. Like, that's another thing that I had with SG-1. They had a flabby old MacGyver, older MacGyver playing as a spec ops soldier, that being Jack O'Neill.
No, dude, you know what I'm currently really mad about? Like, I am straight up pissed.
What?
The dude that they hired now to play Batman. It's that guy from it's fucking Edward from Twilight or whatever his name was.
Oh.
Right? No, and he refuses to exercise and work out,
Bro.
And I'm like, you're playing Batman, you disrespectful trash.
Dude, that's like playing Guts from Berserk and saying, hey, I don't want to work out. It's like, dude, it's like how else are going to portray the character that guy is made of freaking steel.
I'm perfect for the role of Guts. Do you see that? No, it's... I'm not going to consistently go to the gym on a daily basis and, hit the weights and dumbbells and all that stuff and eat steak and protein shakes consistently. I refuse
dude, you'd
to do
have
that.
to be... No, dude, in order to get to Guts level, you would have to be training since you were walking.
No, and to me, what gets me is like, it's just so blatantly disrespectful to the legacy of Batman. It's
right.
Like,
although to his credit, Michael Keaton did not really work out heavily for the role, and yet he, as a personality anyways, pulled off the role pretty well. I mean, he did not physically pull off the role very well, as Loudmouth said in his opinion of Michael Keaton's performance, but all the same, I mean, just in defense of the guy.
But but do you also hear like some of the rumors though about what's going on the set? Supposedly, Pattinson and what was her name? That actress who was playing Catwoman. Supposedly, actually, were like having sex on the set, and the director walked in on them. and was just fucking furious. Like he was absolutely livid. And he told them, "You are the most entitled narcissist I've ever worked with. And after this movie's finished, we are done for good."
Holy crap.
Well, to be fair, like that'll make the sexual tension scenes better, I guess.
I guess, but it kind of violates like certain social distancing protocols that are like required to be mandated on the set.
It's like not so much.
I don't care about social distancing.
Well, I'm saying though, yeah, I get it. She's hot. I'd do the same. But can't you get a room, man? You know, why are you doing it on the set of your fucking job?
Right.
Yeah, it's like keep your junk in your pants, dude. Jesus.
At least long enough to do
that
the
it won't
movie.
work out though is really the guy seems like a pompous asshole, to be honest.
He probably is.
Yeah.
Red Feather, how dare you? You dirty, dirty girl.
No tension.
Oh, that's a girl.
That was gross. How dare you? That was sexual harassment.
Oh.
And I don't need to take
Oh no. Dark on me too. Oh no.
Yes. Yeah.
But,
yeah, so some of the I love Midnight's Edge reported. I loved after reporting the news they put Quagmire from Family Guy in there. Giggity gig.
No. By the way, just a little FYI to Red Feather. Red Feather, you're fine. I was just making fun of your last little live chat comment here. That was all. But I guess to sort of rewind a bit, kind of awkwardly. I mean, talking about sci-fi again. What would you guys say is your absolute favorite sci-fi property?
Frank Herbert's Dune. Oh, sorry.
I'd say the same. Frank Herbert's Dune.
I love you, loudmouth.
I cannot bring myself to like.
I can't wait for the movie.
I cannot bring myself to like Dune the most because, for one, I haven't read the books and I'm not exactly the strongest reader, so I do not look to be reading those books. I'm going to probably devote more of my reading time towards other properties. I mean, I still have the foundation books that I have not read yet.
Read 1984. Everyone needs to read that one.
I listened to part of the audiobook.
Is that a sci-fi property? Or are you just
it's a sci-fi property, but if you're going to read any book, it kind of could be. It's kind of an alternate history.
Although I guess Brave New World is more sci-fi, even but those things are more like sci-fi by auxiliary more than by design.
Yeah,
right.
But I'd say that I'd say probably Orwell's 1984 may be the greatest novel ever written. It really is a brilliantly terrifying look into how a tyrannical society could operate.
So
and Dune knew he was a prophet.
So Dune is you guys' favorite sci-fi property in general, be it book, movie, or series. But if we were to exclude books, though, what would you say is you guys' favorite sci-fi property?
Well, I would have nothing. Well, I don't read
That's
Dune.
a lot harder.
It's really hard. I can name a few that I really liked. 2015's Ex Machina would be a great one. The one from 1997. You ever see Dark City?
I haven't, but it looks interesting just by the
Highly
title.
recommend Dark City. It is one of those underrated films ever. It was a box office flop when it came out, but it is actually an incredibly brilliant science fiction movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to go with, just because I thought it was wonderfully campy and cheesy and awesome.
Fifth Element.
Dude, I didn't even think Fifth Element. Yes. All right, never mind.
What were you about to say?
Element.
I was just guessing. If my guess was wrong, well, then what was your actual answer?
Well, now it's replaced my actual answer because for some reason Fifth Element didn't even pop up in my head. Really
What were you about to say then, though?
Oh, I was going to say Disney's Atlantis.
Oh, well, Atlantis, yeah.
That is so underrated.
That is a pretty good movie.
It's just like, okay. Somebody said that, I think Nostalgia Critic actually made this point, that all the characters that they made in Atlantis are more like characters that you would see in a TV show. Like, he almost thinks that, and I somewhat concur with the opinion, that Atlantis had more potential to be a TV show than to be a singular movie. Although I like the movie itself as is, but nonetheless, what do you guys think? A live action recreation of Atlantis, the Lost Empire in a TV series, like say on Disney Plus, for example.
Never seen it, so I can't comment. Sorry.
Right.
Want to know something funny about? There was a TV show they were going to make for it. There was a script that Greg Wiseman made for that show that was never produced. That would have included Demona. So actually, it was planned that Atlantis, the Lost Empire, and Gargoyles are in the same universe.
Oh,
You're back.
That's interesting.
There was a planned crossover, but it was never produced.
Right.
It's set in like the 1910s, where obviously most of the gargoyles would have been frozen in stone under the sleeping spell, but Demona would have been alive and kicking at the time. She's immortal.
Mm-hmm. Was it going to be live action or cartoon?
Oh, it was going to be a cartoon. It was going to like cross over the two franchises.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that was never produced because there's no real connections between the two, but there's no real contradictions either. There's nothing that really prevents Atlantis from being in the same universe as Gargoyles.
By the way, I got a question. Have you guys ever heard of the Snorks here? Because I'm not getting Red Feather's reference right here.
Not from the 80s, yeah.
Is it like a sci-fi property or something that I've never heard of?
No, it's a kid's cartoon.
Oh, oops, my bad. Planet of the Apes, as Red Feather had mentioned, Planet of the Apes, I guess it's just personally not really my cup of tea. Like when I think of something, a sci-fi property that I would like the best, I think of a sci-fi property has to have some. I don't know how many essential elements to it, but essential elements for me, anyways, for me to consider it the best would be multiple different alien species. There to be like some kind of political theme going on, some amount of wars, not consistently wars like Star Wars ends up being. But Trucker, we lost him. I guess he's trying to get back his. He might be having trouble with his connections for all we know.
Back.
Hello.
But I don't see why multiple alien species is really needed for something to be good sci-fi.
He's just totally, totally my own subjectivity, Loudmouth. That's about it.
About to say, you're basically just making Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I grew up on Star Wars, and I would say currently it is probably my most favorite sci-fi property. Except the thing is that there's not enough depth in the character development of all the characters. They seem kind of one-sided, black and white for the most part. Whereas Battlestar Galactica, it has more well-fleshed out characters, and so therefore Battlestar Galactica, particularly the more modern series, not the old one, the one with Edward James Olmos and Katie Sackhoff in it. That series really goes neck to neck with Star Wars, in my opinion, at least because of the better fleshed out characters. Even though it does not have multiple different alien species, it still has the war aspect of it and a deep storyline too.
Let me add.
Go on.
Oh yeah, how could I forget about Star Wars? I feel stupid. Yeah, that's my favorite. But sorry, go ahead, dude.
Let me add this much. In the original Star Wars trilogy, there was a lot of character depth in it. There really was. Like, I mean, hell, like Yoda is great. Like Yoda never changes, obviously, but who he is slowly revealed, and you learn stuff about him. And there's more clues to him than you would guess if you just did a basic watch.
But he doesn't have like any moral. He doesn't have any real moral gray areas, though.
No. Yes and no, but I don't think you need character change to have character depth. This is something a lot of people harp on about, like, oh, well, you need in-depth character conflict and change. And it's like, you don't really need that.
No.
You just need good character, and that can be surprisingly consistent character.
Fair point. But yeah, like Star Wars, it's just ultimately, I mean, it's especially with how it's been butchered nowadays with the sequel trilogy and even the prequel trilogy to an extent, even though I consider the prequel trilogy to be almost neck to neck with the original trilogy, but that's again my own subjectivity speaking. It's just a little bit too plain for me to say that it is definitely the #1 sci-fi franchise.
Have you guys ever seen? You guys ever seen Alex Jones breaking down the Star Wars prequels?
No.
It's wonderful, and like straight up, honest truth is, like Alex Jones would have been a better director of Lucas's movie than Lucas was.
I think I might have seen that video once before. I'm gonna look back at it.
I'm back.
Star Wars: The Phantom Menace was the most disappointing thing since my son.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Do you remember that?
Sound like that's great. What is that from?
That's from Red Letter Media. That's the opening of the review.
Oh my god.
Oh god, it sounds like Possum reviews.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. It's like, and although my son ended up hanging himself in the bathroom at the gas station, the unfortunate reality of the Star Wars prequels is that they're going to be around forever.
Wow, that's terrible.
That's great.
That's how Red Letter Media opens the reviews. It's insane.
That better be a joke.
It was.
Okay.
Harry Plinkett is a fictional character. Okay, he's essentially reviewing the movies not as himself but as a character.
Okay, good.
Have you seen the Possum reviewer guy? I love him.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
he's
that guy.
really
Yeah, he's
good.
great.
And to date, my favorite scene is with the ghost. You were only created so as to be a mechanism for my video. Go deal with existential crisis.
Or yeah, have fun with your existential crisis.
Hey guys, I actually pulled up the video. Shall we watch it for a split second?
I'd rather not.
What?
Oh, what? How long is it?
It's just 2 minutes and 41 seconds.
Oh, whatever. Then okay.
All right.
Let me just briefly explain Revenge of the Sith plot line.
Yeah, this is great.
At the time, we wrote articles about it because the media said we don't understand this. This makes no sense. The most popular of the 3 prequels. They made total sense. Emperor Palpatine was a little-known senator from Naboo, small planet. He finances terrorists to attack the planet. And then he plays victim and says that the pacifist republic isn't doing enough to help him with the terrorist invasion, the Trade Federation invasion, who even speak in Chinese accents. It's all geopolitical. And so, little aliens with Chinese accents. He then goes and complains and catapults himself in the crisis into the role of chancellor. Because, he was the victim, but now he demanded something be done. He'd been a pacifist previously. Now he's chancellor. Episode 2 launches terror attacks all over the galaxy with groups he's secretly financing through his backers in the Trade Federation. He turns around, double crosses in the end. Lord Vader, kill Viceroy Gunray and everyone else in the... Basically, in the end, they knock out all of the people that backed him, which always happens. Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Maoist China. Learn from history. Then,
not wrong.
So he uses that to build up the power of the empire in episode 2. And now he's got this big Imperial army, but it's not Imperial yet. But it's the stormtroopers, the outfits, the weapon systems to counter this outside threat run by Count Dooku, the Osama bin Laden guy that actually works for him, and they meet in secret. Now, in episode 3, he launches an attack on the imperial capital himself. He launches an attack on New York. And then he gets captured, and then he sets up Count Dooku to get killed, and then he seduces to the dark side Anakin Skywalker to make him Darth Vader. And in the end, he then sets up, after he has the police state in place, he sets up the Jedi and says they're terrorists and has the anti-terror forces go in and wipe them out. And then he says he's launching a global intergalactic war to bring peace. Now, the media could not understand, wait, And they actually wrote articles. Emperor Palpatine's attacking himself. It makes no sense. Adults cannot understand children level ideas. Okay? Child level ideas. Child level. How can you not understand it?
Oh, anyway, I don't think that was the same video that I personally had watched, but nonetheless, it
No,
was
there's
interesting to
There's
watch.
a much
Anyways.
longer one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would have
explain the
definitely
Star
not played that video if it was much longer than that. But sorry, you're saying Loudmouth?
Yeah, you can explain the whole Star Wars trilogy very simple. I already made this joke before, but Farm Boy gets radicalized when a drone strike kills his parents. Goes on a killing spree, makes out with his sister, tries to kill his father, and gets an award.
You know that there are like people who unironically believe in those theories that the Rebel Alliance was actually a terrorist organization and that the Empire were actually the good guys.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah. Well,
So
go and watch Generation Tech's video on that. It like Generation Tech is a wonderful parody of nerds. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
he's a nerd himself.
Literally everything that Generation Tech says, it's not to be taken seriously. Like those aren't as literal. Like obviously the whole humanity first, aliens can go burn in hell for all I care. I could tell obviously that was parody. But
he advocates for the genocide of dolphins. It's a joke.
Right, but all that I understand is joke. But him saying that basically, oh, the human Marines in Avatar were actually the good guys. The Empire were actually the good guy. So the Starship Troopers, mobile infantry, they absolutely suck. All of those opinions are not really his opinions.
Probably not. And if that, yeah, he's probably just trolling plus doing, if any, at the worst, he's doing an embellishment of an idea he has.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like maybe with you on my Discord.
Yes.
I'm kind of joking, an inside joke between me and Trucker a little bit, but nonetheless,
well, every time I troll on your server, like those are my opinions. I'm just going way out of my way to make them sound so much worse.
Okay.
I'm very good at doing that. Don't know if you noticed.
Nonetheless, to get off of that subject though. Yeah, I can't.
Darkon's over here sweating bullets about what'll happen.
Yeah, I'm not meaning to make this stream all that serious, but nonetheless, what was I gonna ask? I guess to sort of get off of that
I do
topic,
find
though.
you sexually exciting.
I guess to sort of get off of that subject, though, Loudmouth, what do you think of Stargate?
I haven't watched most of the show. I've only I remember the 1994 movie.
What do you think of the movie?
It's pretty good, I guess.
I'm kind of sad that it got only like what a 47% rating. That movie did.
I mean, it's no masterpiece, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the other part of this is like people are watching it now, thinking of like modern day, like technology and stuff, and it's like, guys, they still had pagers back then, for Christ's sakes.
They had what?
Yeah, they still had pagers back then, for Christ's sakes.
That's right.
Pagers, yeah.
Well, it definitely made a tidy profit, over 3 times its budget. The original movie did.
Yep.
Pretty good, especially for a Canadian outfit.
Right, it was Canadian, wasn't it?
Right.
Like
No, you can always tell if it's Canadian by the hilarious CGI.
Or, well, I was about to say reference Farscape, but Farscape is Australian. Stargate at IMDb. What's it? Or God, I'm trying to like find something to show what the actual rating is of the damn movie. Come on. Stargate 1994.
Although I heard they're real quick, I heard they're doing Dune again, and it's been massively delayed by COVID. And I am so hopeful but afraid.
I mean, it looks pretty good, and it's got some good talent behind it. But I heard that for some reason Liet Kynes has been gender bended in the upcoming movie. Liet Kynes is now a woman.
You know what? They probably just did that so they can be viable for an Academy Award, where it's like you need blacks and women and no.
I mean, well, Kynes' race wasn't really made very clear in the book, so an actor of any race could probably play him, but it was very clear in the book that he was a guy.
No, like they didn't. Other than if somebody was a man or a woman, like you didn't really know much about them because generally humans were beyond that bullshit. But you know, if you're going to be a spacefaring species, you kind of have to be.
Well, I guess the thing about Frank Herbert's books is he devotes surprisingly little time, despite how lengthy his novels are, to like describing the way someone looks or describing like the details in a battle sequence and what have you. Most of it's like spent on like his philosophy.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is, if you read it, it's essentially Islam Armageddon and Christian Armageddon put together.
Kinda, yeah.
I just want to say
a lot of allegories to like religious conflicts of the past.
I just want to say for the record that by looking at the trailers of it, that the special effects for the worms look phenomenal.
I haven't even seen the trailers. I've just been hearing.
You should definitely watch the trailer.
Alaskan bullworm.
What you say? What you say?
How dare you
about the trailers?
I said you should definitely watch the trailer. It was really good. The design of the worm was different than I was expecting. Definitely different than how it looked in the miniseries.
Actually, I think I have it pulled up right here right now. If we were
not
interested.
the worm; it's its tongue.
Maybe this is one.
I am offended, Coy.
Yeah, just show the worm.
Just
go to the end for show the worm scene because we'll probably get copyrighted.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
But
hey, Chucker.
Go!
What do you think of that?
Phenomenal.
Two things.
Wow.
Two things. One, the worm does seem to have its rightful place as basically a natural agent of terror.
Yeah,
that they did good, but the worm never like lifted his face out of the sand like that. He literally can't.
But I think I don't think that's like congruent. I think that maybe like the shot where he's in front of him, the worm pulls back a little bit, might be like a vision.
Might be. There's a few visions like that. True.
Yeah, that's what I think that is. Whereas the shot of it bursting out of the sand was a shot when Jessica and Paul are lost in the desert. Another thing about this movie, it's only based in the first half of the book. It's not adapting the entire novel because the book's too long.
Well, frankly, that's good. I was going to say that's good because the book's long as hell. But I was also going to wonder if they're ever going to go into the part with his children basically being twin Jesus.
Well, that'd be if it's successful enough to get multiple sequels before we got anything like that.
Hey, but by the way, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and very quickly start my laundry in the wash. I will be right back. Keep talking.
Okay.
All right, now's our chance to insult DarkCon. Quick.
Oh yeah. But
so you read all the books in the original series, right?
I've read the first 3 and and I'm like, I don't know,
spoilers.
A quarter of the way through God Emperor.
I will have to excuse myself because of spoilers.
Don't worry. I'm just gonna say this much: God Emperor, it was written like in a shroom-fueled fever dream. I swear to God.
Same that way.
Like this dude just got done reading like the Bible, the Torah, the Islamic books, Narnia, and then did all the shrooms and wrote that book.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like that is, and I mean, if you look at him, he looks like a dude that would do all the shrooms. Frank Herbert.
All the shrooms. Toad, no.
Like, oh no, it's too much. It's not enough.
Save Toad. He's about to be eaten. I don't want to be eaten.
Well, if you read like the way he portrays spice, I guarantee you Frank Herbert is the type of guy that thinks drugs expand your mind.
Oh, no doubt. That's the entire point of that whole series. With that's essentially what the spice melange is. It's a geriatric drug. It doesn't really enable space travel. It just allows a mental awareness that you can do the calculations needed for space travel without computers.
Right. And I love what I love about the Dune series is like there are reasons behind everything in it culturally. Like they refuse to use computers. And anytime it's brought up as to why, they reference like, oh yeah, the Great Machine War from, bajillions of years ago.
Honestly, I can kind of see humanity needing to like throw off the shackles of technology, because I would probably say the most likely thing that could cause human extinction within the next few centuries would be an artificial intelligence that becomes so advanced it decides doesn't need its former masters.
I highly doubt that'll happen because AI is only usually created for a very specific thing, like spell check.
Yeah, the fear of I take the Elon Musk point of view on AI. Like the fear of AI is so silly and cringy to me. But
go ahead.
The way it went about in the Frank Herbert verse was wonderful, even though it was written by his children as opposed to him. When they expanded on that, like it was reasonable because
the first three novels don't really give much detail on it. It's just kind of something that happened in the distant past.
Right. Well, in the book that specifically addresses it, what happened was humanity basically created space socialism by giving everything, giving everything over to the machines. And then basically a handful of hacker nerds were like, wait a second, these dumbasses gave us all the power we need.
This is I don't think they're going to need 10,000 years for that to become reality.
Right. But
I can see that happening like in my lifetime.
Right. But that's basically what happened was everything. It became, well, like I said, space socialism through automation and technology, just providing everybody everything. And then some hackers were like, all right, well, I'm just going to take control. You already have the systems in place, dumbasses.
Yeah.
Which, I could see that happening. There's always going to be somebody who wants power.
Well, yeah, but I feel like I forgot what I was going to say. Well, I don't know. Go ahead.
Just kind of the vision of a far future society that's kind of both more advanced and more primitive at the same time was kind of an interesting one. More primitive in the fact they don't have like all this computer technology we have today because they've found a way to go around it. But of course, much more advanced in the fact that they've mastered space travel.
Oh, and they were very much culturally stunted people too because of the history they had. That's the other thing. Like there was clear signs of a history that culturally stunted them and made them go back to monarchy.
I guess in Frank Herbert's view, he seemed to think that feudalist societies just are kind of man's natural state, and just kind of humans just inevitably fall in them, which kind of seems to be the case if we really look at history. Like different human cultures on different sides of the planet with very little contact all seem to independently have like feudalistic societies develop.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason that would happen, like imagine if tomorrow the apocalypse happened and then anarchy happened, and then like you'd end up with a feudal society just because somebody takes power. And
I just think that's a stupid thing to think. It's like, oh, it's just someone's really going to take power. It's like, okay.
Well, no. The reason it would happen in an anarchy society is just because it basically become roving gangs. Yeah. No. If the world collapsed today, there would not be enough people smart enough to avoid that. Trust me.
Right. Like let's say the thread scenario.
Well, that wouldn't be anarchism. That would just be another state.
No, it would fall into anarchism, and from that, the gangs would rise
Slander.
up.
I cry slander. No.
So that I'm
How
not.
dare
a
you
huge-
insult my anarchy? Anarchy is perfect.
I never claimed it was perfect.
We're talking about whether feudal
I know,
societies are man's natural state. I was saying,
I'm not a debater, guys. I'm more of the. I would have to use my own story to explain how you would.
No.
Because, sorry. Can I keep going?
like
Sorry.
I was watching this special on like medieval Japan the other day, and it kind of struck me how.
Sorry, 1 second. Corn Monster, was there something that you wanted to say very quickly before Loudmouth explains himself?
Well, I was saying that I would, because I'm not a huge debater, I would have to express through my own stories how you would innovate a state out of existence, basically. Because I wouldn't really call myself a, what do you call those, transhumanist anarchist, but I do think you can innovate the state out of existence.
Okay.
I don't think you can.
But-
Humans are hierarchical creatures.
Yes, but that's not, you don't need,
But
you
anyway,
don't
it's
need
sort
to
of
have a hierarchy. A state doesn't necessarily mean a hierarchy. Because if anything, it's like the state's just a fake one, because it's like you just have a bunch of dumbasses say, "Ooh, I'm so important," even though they don't know anything.
But to sort of
No,
get
go-
to
continue,
the
guys.
lady side, Loudmouth, you're saying? Sorry?
Well, I was saying I was watching the historical special on medieval Japan the other day, and it kind of struck me how very similar it was to like documentaries about medieval Europe. How these two, basically humans on either whether you're on one side of the planet or the other, all just seem to develop the same kind of cultures. It just kind of does seem like that's just what man's state naturally is, you know.
Oh.
Which is why Frank Herbert's vision of a far future where you have a galactic feudal system kind of makes sense.
Well, and if you go to expanded books on it, what it is basically they're on a galactic scale. There's a feudal system, and then on the planetary scale, some of them are feudal, some of them are democracies, some of them are fucking space Nazis and space commies. You know, like it's different to each. Yeah, it's different to each planet, really. But because there is a galactic feudal system, that one's more likely to pop up.
Galactic commies and galactic space Nazis. You made me think of Warhammer for 40K for a second there.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the tower described as space commies. Sorry, you're saying, Loudmouth?
Right, like the Harkonnens, or their society is described as being just basically an oppressive, authoritarian regime built on the backs of slaves. Whereas, of course, their planet of Gedi Prime. Whereas, Caladan was seen as like even though it was ruled essentially as a monarchy, it seemed to have far higher standards of human rights.
Are you talking about
Yeah.
the Atreides?
Yes.
Yeah. And well, the Atreides, or the reason we don't see as much as like government structures and it's mostly just feudal systems is because we are following the feudal families.
Yeah.
You know? But in the expanded books taken from Herbert's children, and there are other societies that have other ways of doing this. You know?
I guess that makes sense. But I guess among Dune fans, some don't really regard Brian Herbert's additions as canon. But I guess it's kind of debated, or what only Frank Herbert's original works. But
I consider his children's published works as like soft canon.
Yeah,
because what most of those books were basically like the gathering of the notes that Frank Herbert made, so he could reference the culture and keep it like his history and culture and keep it consistency, but with just stories added around the notes.
Right, but the details are certainly different than if Frank Herbert was still alive. But
no, he clearly would have written a different book than that, but they were basically just trying to create a story to explain the historical notes that his father made.
Right, and he'd be about 107 if he were alive today, I believe, something around there.
He's definitely old as hell. He was pretty old when the books were written.
He was only 69 when he died, though, in the mid-80s.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, that's sad.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't that old. He just kind of, but happens to all of us eventually.
Yeah.
Wonder when
But
Tolkien was born. 1892. So if he was alive, he would be a lot older than Herbert.
Mhm.
Well,
Well,
He'd
Yeah,
be
in reality-
139. He'd be 139 if he were alive today.
the funny reality is like as far as I'm concerned, every sci-fi and fantasy writer has just been trying to live up to Frank Herbert and Tolkien since.
Like I guess so. I mean, are there? What about Isaac Asimov when it comes to sci-fi writers?
Oh yeah, Isaac Asimov had a huge influence.
Which one's Isaac Asimov's books again?
He's the one that-
iRobot.
iRobot,
Oh.
Foundation. There's a few others, but Foundation is like one of the big ones that I know.
No, he did great.
And Philip K. Dick, his contributions are incredibly noteworthy.
Did you say
He was really
filthy
invented,
dick?
Huh?
Did you say filthy dick?
Philip K. Dick, that was his name.
Okay, my bad. Filthy dick. I wonder if that was
Philip
his nickname
K.
back in the day.
Yeah, he was. All right, he wrote the books Blade Runner's based on, Total Recall, and Minority Report.
Minority Report.
Yeah, well, though the book wasn't called Blade Runner, the novel Blade Runner is based on was called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Blade Runners are characters within it.
That's quite a mouthful. Do androids dream of electronic sheep?
Yes.
Wow.
You can see why they didn't make the movie named that.
Yeah, they made
Yeah,
the
it's
movie.
too damn long.
The movie, the movie is different, but he kind of takes kind of the central structure of humanoid replicants being built in this future, and Blade Runners being hired to hunt down replicants that escape and yada yada.
Is it philosophically the same?
It's kind of similar, but he definitely had a huge mark. Particularly, he loved questioning like what's real and what's not.
Oh God, he's one of those motherfuckers that's like perception makes reality.
Right.
God
That was
damn it.
what
Real
Orwell did
life.
with 1984. What like the best parts of that book are just kind of like during the interrogation, him saying, "Do you think the past exists? All right, in some other plane? No, it exists in writings and in memory. We the party control all records. We control all memory. So we control the past, and he who controls the past controls the future."
My response to that is basically the what's his name? The Twilight episode with the librarian.
Oh, that's probably the best episode of the Twilight Zone. That episode's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. And I just love how in the very end, please in God's name save me. Well, you betrayed the party.
Yeah. I think that was based on Orwell's writings. That episode. The episode's called "The Obsolete Man," and it's an the ending is an awesome twist of who really was the obsolete man. Rod Serling was a genius, and he's another one who should be like venerated as a great sci-fi writer because he wrote some of the best television scripts ever.
Well, if you put that episode into the middle of like, if somebody were to claim that episode was in the 1984 universe, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So maybe it could be like set shortly before 1984, like in the 70s of that universe.
Right, or it would be like, it might even be like in the American part of the world. Like, but yeah, it fits in with the lore.
Yeah. Freedom
and
war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength.
Right. And I just love, like, my favorite line of his is, when the moment I speak, it lives beyond me, or whatever the exact quote was. Gotta go watch that episode again, actually.
By the way, speaking of sci-fi literature, like if a Coin Monster, I think I know what your answer is going to be, but Loudmouth and Trucker, if I was to like give you two a copy of the Google Drive where I am like writing out the history of my own sci-fi universe to you guys. Would you guys be willing to read it and review it? Like, give me some feedback on it?
I might if I have time. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do that, man. Basically, you just want people to act as critics to tear it down so you can see where it works and doesn't.
Tear it down.
It's a long work in progress. I'm like nowhere near done with it, but I'll probably just like do it like send it to you long before that it's even fully done. But basically, it's just a little summary of the history of the Stargaze universe. The Stargaze is the name that I decided to give of it.
Cool.
I think
Stargaze sounds like a homosexual porn parody of Star Wars.
Jeez.
I know
Stargaze.
those jokes, but it's supposed to be gaze as in the to.
I know.
I can see forever.
But
I know.
I can see forever, gaze.
and if I was to like give you an invite to a special server for making the Stargaze property, would you be interested in joining that, Trucker?
Yeah. Also, it can't be a Google document because I managed to get rid of Google on all my things, and so
don't.
Well, you can still view stuff though in Google, can't you?
Nope. You need a Google account, which I am proud to say I don't have.
Right. But hey, Loudmouth, how often do you get on Discord?
Almost never.
Oh.
Damn, son.
Never mind. But anyway, you guys are talking about Frank Herbert, or you're talking about Blade
Runner.
Runner.
Move on to Orwell and his kind of philosophical ideas of totalitarianism.
George Orwell was more warning people rather than proposing an idea, right?
Correct. His book is essentially meant as a warning, but it's really a brilliant a guide in how totalitarians think and how they operate, how they manipulate language, how they manipulate human memory to their advantage.
Oh, yeah. No, he would be the perfect person to comment on it because he was a socialist.
Yes, he was. But his books really aren't about socialism, like economic socialism, but more kind of the totalitarian way that people manipulate society.
Well, you could say was more of a commentary on cultural socialism, because that's really how the 1984 universe dominated the cultural spheres. Is they controlled the culture just enough that people who want to be involved have something to grab at, Meanwhile,
modifying history is like a big thing. How they would have people who work at basically changing records in the past. Like it would always in the records, the party's predictions would always come true because if they didn't, they'd simply go back to those older records and make it so that the party's prediction, it was predicted, the party said it would be, and then that came to pass. But really, the party's not predicting anything right. They're just modifying the records. He who controls the past controls the future.
My favorite example of that is the whole, congratulations, everybody. Your chocolate rations have been increased to 4 a week. Meanwhile, quite literally right before that, it was 5 a week.
Yes.
Oh,
that's how they did things. And through basically intense fear and brainwashing, people just weren't programmed to question this.
Right. Real quick, does anybody know how to keep out the bad pinatas in Viva Pinata? They're pissing me off.
Maybe we should just put up with it because they're inevitable. I don't know.
Never played it, so I don't know.
Don't fight it because they're inevitable, like the state apparently. So.
The one line I think that sticks with me from that, he talks about how they'll eventually, through modifying language and changing the and kind of simplifying it through newspeak, eventually they make it so that thought crime and questioning the government would literally be impossible, because just as thoughts influence words, words can also influence thoughts. Eventually, it would be literally impossible for anyone to question the government because they wouldn't be able to form thoughts complex enough to do so. So they wouldn't be able to reason beyond the government's propaganda and claims.
Oh no, it was genius, and like you see it today with like the semantic overload and stuff, like people saying Black Lives Matter, and like saying Black Lives Matter is not saying Black Lives Matter. It's saying that you agree with the filthy communist organization of Black Lives Matter.
Right. Changing around words to fit your meaning. Basically, if the words don't, if our words don't match our behavior, we simply go back and we change the definition of the word so that now it does, and then the old meaning and the new meaning kind of get mixed together, and it helps obfuscate what they're doing. It's actually exactly how totalitarians continue to operate to this day. It's brilliant.
Right. And it's like the greatest example I ever saw really was Don Lemon on CNN. How can Antifa be bad? They're anti-fascist. And it's like, yep.
It's all the other baggage that comes with them, the communism and all that shit. And even in their supposed anti-fascism, they're so aimless with it. Like Sargon ends up getting punched, or anyone who is literally not a fascist gets punched in the mixture of it.
Well, I'll give you a great example of an Orwellian name where they name something the opposite of what it is. Like in 1984, the Ministry of Truth was devoted to lying to people. The Ministry of Love was devoted to torturing people. The Ministry of Peace was devoted to war. All of them had names that were basically the exact opposite of what they actually did. A good example of that in the modern world would be the name of China's army. It's called the People's Liberation Army, is the Communist Party's army. Yeah, because what they did at Tiananmen Square, that was liberating the people, right? It was liberating.
They walk into Hong Kong and throw journalists in the bay.
Yes, that was the liberation of people. It literally does. They literally do the exact opposite of what the name of their organization says they do.
Well, no one has ever accused a communist of being consistent, not even communist.
Right. Yeah, you liberated people from their heads or something.
Hey, that reminds me. Apparently, that's one thing that Destiny and Vosh got arguing against each other on one of their recent debates that Sitch and Adam actually covered. I haven't watched the full review, I haven't watched their full live stream myself, but what I go hearing is that Destiny was calling out Vosh for being hypocritical because he accepts patron donations, so therefore he's acting like a capitalist, et cetera, et cetera.
No. What he called him out for was Destiny asked him about taking sponsorships, and instead of saying, no, I don't take sponsorships because it goes against my communist priors, he said it doesn't go with the aesthetic of his channel.
The fuck?
Yeah. He doesn't take sponsorships, not because that would be a capitalist action. He doesn't take sponsorships because it doesn't work with his channel image. Not kidding.
What bullshit?
What?
Short Fat Otaku had a wonderful video on it recently.
The Chinese are liberating people's souls from their bodies.
Dark.
Liberate brain from skull.
Imagine that spin-off of Pete Docter's Pixar movie, Loudmouth.
But not the Chinese. The Chinese Communist Party is doing it. Okay, you always got to make sure you're blaming it on the Communist Party, not the Chinese people.
Right, we got to cancel you, no one. How dare you?
I'm not trying to cancel. I'm just saying you always have.
I'm joking, Loudmouth. I know.
You're racist.
Yes. I'm trying to. Yes,
I was just pretending to be a woke SJW.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a very Loudmouth has a very good point with this. The thing is that the Communist Party is trying to conflate the Communist Party with the people of China as an ethnicity, and that way they can come in and be like, "Oh, well, you don't like China Communist Party? You must be anti-Chinese."
Well, yeah, they always do that. You look at pro-China channels; they always just conflate the Chinese people and the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
Try to
No,
basically say any attack on the Communist Party's actions is an attack on all the people there.
No, which is the funniest darn thing, because until the party realized they could do that, the single greatest destroyers of Chinese history and culture was the Communist Party. Like, there's literally untold thousands, if not millions, of Chinese cultural items and architecture and everything else destroyed by them.
Oh, yeah. During their Cultural Revolution.
Mm-hmm. Which is actually explicitly called for under communism, because you got, in order to, communists believe that they need to destroy the previous culture to build a new one. And it's explicitly called for in the communist writing.
I have returned.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Oh, no.
But
I legit didn't realize you were gone.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, you don't matter, Koi.
My monster's lives matter.
Wait, are you
Right.
Koi Monster?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were Koi. I thought you were Koi Master. Like you had a pond of koi fish, and you're like rolling over them.
You fucking
That is
pleb.
for-
You fucking
Ate my
pleb.
Ate my pellets, you bastards.
So that does go with a running joke that I had. So I'm gonna have to do some stupid spoof of that now.
Just draw your own avatar, like a Korra of Avatar thing, like with the stuff around her, but instead of it being water and stuff, it's just like koi fish flopping around.
You know what? You know what? Okay. I don't know how to formulate this. For some reason, when I think 1984, George Orwell's 1984, I go thinking of Man in the High Castle or some other kind of Return to Castle Wolfenstein sort of property.
I have no idea why you would do that.
No idea what you're talking about, dude.
I don't know what that is, Sally.
Dude, you need to read Orwell's books. Both Animal Farm and 1984, like, just perfectly lay out the totalitarian tactics of the left. It's amazing.
No,
By
I
the
know
way,
it's more
if you-
serious than that, but for some reason my mind goes to the idea of a fictional universe of where that the literal Nazis take over pretty much.
Well,
most of
they're
the
not
world.
really the literal
Yeah.
Nazis. The Ingersoll Party, the English Socialist Party, in this, they take over after a fictional nuclear war that occurred in this universe in the middle of the 50s. There was some kind of nuclear conflict, and as a result, 3 super states, each with their own tyrannical government, kind of just took over their societies. And England, where the book is set, is set in the fictional kingdom of Oceania, that's kind of risen from the ashes of the nuclear fire, and it's an incredibly oppressive society where it's a surveillance state where everyone's watched and they monitor people's thoughts, and they will arrest you for any sign of disagreement or criticism of the party.
Well, the
So it's
really
not
cool
it's
thing
not the
about it
Germans-
is,
So it's not the Germans that take over the world; it's the British that take over the world.
well, they take over a part of. They take over part of the world. What is set up is 3 different authoritarian super states that they all have the same end result through different methods, basically, but they're never really expanded on. And basically, what they do is culturally control people through the understanding of history, and all 3 of them are constantly at war with each other to make sure that progress can't happen in technology or culture, because if that happens, then things will change and they can no longer calculate what will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The past controls the future. Reiterating
The past controls the future.
Mhm.
And what probably the most scariest line is imagining the future, the party plans. Imagine a boot stomping on a human face forever.
Ouch.
Right? Yeah, but that's what it was. They were using war, culture, and history to keep humans from changing, so that way they could control them.
Yeah, And eventually it implied that they would have literally dumbed down the public enough through brainwashing and newspeak that people literally would be incapable of rebelling because they wouldn't be able to form thoughts complex enough to even do so. Like they wouldn't even think to rebel. The party would stay in power for all time. A boot stomping on a human face forever.
Yeah, they basically would have, hilariously enough, used that to devolve the human mind into just acting as the perfect state entity.
Yeah, they would have they said the future they were planning would be one where humans would have sex only for reproductive purposes and would gain no pleasure from it, and then babies would be like taken from their moms at birth and kind of raised in a communal way. There'd be no more families anymore. It's such a nightmarish vision of the future Orwell had, but it all seems like something that's terrifyingly plausible.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there like not too many years
isn't
ago some small-time Democratic politician who was saying these aren't just your children, these are our children?
Oh God.
Yes.
I can't remember who it was, but I remember hearing on the radio a few years ago some girl literally unironically saying that.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Kill it
that's
with
got to be
fire.
terrifying.
I mean,
Jake.
yeah, if you see some other parent's kid, some other adult's kid getting kidnapped by some piece of shit, like, yeah, by all means intervene and save that damn kid from being kidnapped and whatnot, but this still doesn't make him your kid.
Unless you're a penguin.
A penguin.
Yeah, unless you're a penguin.
Penguins do that.
We got a
Oh
genocide.
yeah, penguins are evil.
We got
Penguins are evil bastards. Penguins will steal other penguins' eggs and children, and
Jeez.
they will also cheat on each other, even though they mate for life.
Who is more fucked up, penguins or polar bears?
So
I don't
even
know about polar bears. I didn't hear about polar bears.
so even penguins are not completely ahypergamous. I remember when I did that video on hypergamy a while ago. I used the contrast between a penguin and a peacock, two different birds, as kind of an example of a highly hypergamous species and one that it has very little hypergamy. Kind of the contrast. The fact that there's huge sexual dimorphism between a peahen and a peacock, whereas with penguins, the males and the females look pretty much identical. Unless you grab one and look underneath, it's hard to tell them apart.
Which video would it
Wow,
be?
Wevo.
Huh?
I remember that. No, penguins will cheat on each other, and it's weird. It doesn't necessarily seem to be about resources with them, because a perfectly good at his job as a male penguin will get cheated on.
Well, in terms of hypergamy isn't all about resources, though that is a critical part of it. It's mostly kind of the reproductive tendency in females across the animal kingdom, humans included, to want.
Thanks.
Sorry, it's biology. Want a male of kind of higher worth than themselves, basically. They're either better looking than themselves, richer than themselves, in some way better than they are. That's kind of the evolutionary drive.
Which
Anybody that
video-
doesn't think hypergamy is a thing is an idiot.
Hypergamy is real. It is how humans. It's how most animals have evolved.
Wait, what is hypergamy? It's basically what you just described.
Basically, it's females sleeping with men that are higher up in the ladder. You can think of it that way.
Females. Okay, yeah.
Well, basically, males are naturally polyamorous. So, here's how it works: because men can spread their genes throughout the population in a way that's impossible for women to do. They naturally tend to favor a greater number of sexual partners. Like that,
Yeah.
the main goal of like a tribal chieftain, he wants like many different wives and wants to spread his genes around, because women invest a lot more in their offspring on average than men do. Obviously, it takes a lot more reproductive resources to produce a child for a woman to gestate a baby than a man does producing sperm. She's much more choosy on who she's willing to accept. So we got. So it kind of leads to an order it has throughout most of history, where kind of a small number of high status males have kind of like have fathered most of the children.
Which is hilarious but true.
Right, like the
Kind of gross when you think about it.
No, you are the average. Most people have more female ancestors than they do male ancestors.
all people do. All humans.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All humans have twice as many female than male ancestors. They measured that by measuring the difference in variance between the X and the Y chromosomes, and they determined that there's been twice. You have twice as many female and male ancestors. You might think that doesn't make any sense. Every generation had one mother, one father, so there should be 50-50, right? Well, the thing is, across the generation, all of us have a huge number of shared ancestors, and among those shared ancestors, there's a far greater number of male ones than female ones. Hence, why we have twice as many female than male ancestors.
Basically, cheating hoes.
I also heard, for one thing, women just are born with higher immune systems, apparently.
I don't know about that, but I do know, like, there is science behind why the flu hits men harder than it does women, for example.
It wouldn't be too surprising because females have to be built in a way so that they can like sustain a person inside of them.
Yeah,
whereas men don't. Yeah, so that does make sense.
Also,
sorry to interrupt for 1 second, Trucker, but basically, because doesn't you actually have was it your white blood cells that are your immune system, right? They actually go to the baby, right?
well, they can if the barrier doesn't work. But the other part of this is, I would say, like back in cave days, women were more likely to stick around in one spot while the dude was nomadic. And I would say the germs that ruminate are more likely to kill you than the ones you bump into.
And another big factor, though, in why we have twice as many female ancestors is just because men have historically been far more likely to do more violent and dangerous jobs. Like when the men who had the task of hunting, and hunting's dangerous because a bison or a moose isn't gonna stand there and ask you to eat it. It's gonna fight back.
Oh, yeah.
And when it fights back, it can break your bones. It can trample you. And not to mention, tribal warfare has been a part of human history, and in wars, way more men die than women. So even if an equal number of the boys and girls are born, by adult time, a lot more of the boys will have been killed off one way or the other than the girls.
Also, because of the struggle snuggle.
Yep.
Sorry.
What the fuck is that?
What's that?
That's just a slightly nice way of saying rape.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah, basically all the women get stolen away and taken as basically Stone Age version pocket pussies.
Well, look.
Great.
Well, yeah.
Sadly, yeah.
Ew.
I mean, it's
sadly,
true, right?
yeah,
I mean, they treat them as nothing more than property, just a place to put their dick into.
Well, certain tribal chieftains would often like get into combat with each other and like for access to the women. They would just it was a savage world back then. People who live in our cushy reality today, or we just have no idea what it was like.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh,
No, just what gets me is the term she used, the struggle snuggle. My God.
I didn't make that word up, by the way. I've heard people use it around because they don't want to get demonetized on YouTube.
Oh. But I mean, that did happen. But the vast majority of human mating wasn't that, though. It was mostly most sex was consensual, even a million
Thank
years
God.
ago.
No, yeah, the idea, I've seen people like the crazy, annoying feminist historians, I love those people. They're so gloriously stupid.
Oh, no.
They actually believe an ancient matriarchal society comparable to like Atlantis or some shit controlled the world. And then men just started, and then men just like showed up and started raping and controlling everything.
Oh my God, that's stupid.
Do they ever look at a troop of gorillas? That's kind of how it is. Like you'll have like a dominant silverback, and he'll like have a harem of a female gorillas, and he's a lot bigger. Like the male gorillas are like twice the size of the females, and he'll control a harem. And any like lesser male that touches any of his females, he will beat their ass. You know.
My favorite thing about this, real quick, whenever you bring up the monkeys, they'll point to bonobo chimpanzees, which are slightly matriarchal. Is like they're like, oh, a great matriarchal society. And it's like, no. The men still do the fighting. The men still do the warring.
The males do the fighting.
Right.
Yes.
And like, oh my God, I can get pigs in Viva Pinata. I did not know this.
Pigs.
You know what? That kind of reminds me back of the Adam Ruins Everything video of where that, you know, where he goes talking about alpha males, and then he goes,
wow,
you know,
it's like, wait, are you
the one alpha Adam is saying, oh, we're just like our apes or whatever, and then the actual Adam goes saying, actually, we're more closely related to bonobos, and they were a matriarchal species.
Right, exactly.
Apparently he was leaving out a whole bunch of context.
Yeah,
also, not to mention,
beyond that, humans are equally related. We are not closer related to bonobos than we are to common chimpanzees. The two of them split after their common ancestor with humans. We're equally related to both those species.
And bonobo chimpanzees are... The difference between bonobo chimpanzees and normal chimpanzees is like the difference between a Labrador and a bulldog.
That's false. They are different species. Their common ancestry was a lot further ago than a Labrador and a bulldog.
the hell's that dinging sound?
A Labrador and a
Viva
bulldog
Pinata.
are separated by
Okay, please turn that lower.
years.
No, the thing is that they still breed perfectly fine, and there's no genetic issues whatsoever.
I don't really think
No,
that's true. I think bonobos are a different species. I think that they can interbreed, but I think the young would probably be sterile or semi-sterile.
No, they accidentally let some chimps breed one time in a zoo, and there was no genetic issues whatsoever.
Well, if that's the case, then why are they classified as different species?
Why is...
Because they have different genes, don't they?
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Why is a giraffe that has slightly darker spots but is literally the exact same in genetic profile to another giraffe considered a different species in the savannah?
Here,
I don't. The answer is I don't know why. All right, later.
Wait, what?
Like, legitimately, the answer is I don't know why they're classified as different species.
Holy shit! That was... What did he say?
He'll be back in a minute.
Also, I wanted to butt in. Sorry, may I butt in about the whole alpha male thing that Adam Ruins Everything got totally wrong?
Oh, go ahead.
Because the thing is, it's like, dude, please turn that down. It's very distracting. I'm sorry.
I blame you for that.
Please respect the lady and
please,
turn it down.
please,
It's
No, I am.
Please mute yourself.
Give me a second.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Because the thing is that it's like there was this. So many people get this wrong. They don't understand that the fact that the alpha male or the alpha female, like when talking about wolves, they think, oh, they're supposed to steal everything and like be a jerk to everyone else. But the thing is, that study where they observed that behavior, that was done in captivity. And even the author of that study realized, oh, that was a terrible study.
Right.
Because the alpha male or female, they're supposed to be like a mom or a dad figure to the whole group. Not like a thief who takes everything. That sounds very familiar. Go ahead, though.
A mom or a dad figure that will rip your goddamn throat out.
Well, yeah, if you do the wrong thing.
We better just add that because, yeah, they will.
Yeah, but that was like everyone gets the idea of an alpha male or alpha female is supposed to be based on some bullshit study. Because, like I said, animals don't behave anything like they do in captivity versus in the wild.
No, and the funny thing about that same study, well, that Adam versus Everything episode,
Video.
The episode or video is he's like, oh, well, look at this. Is this guy an alpha male? And then he goes to like some D&D nerd who makes fun of the alpha. What the hell was his name again? I forgot.
I don't know.
Alpha Adam. And it's like, yeah. Here's the thing. That nerd is now the alpha male in that scenario. Because Jock Adam doesn't fit in with the nerds, so obviously the nerd's going to be like, fuck you, dude. You know.
Fuck you.
You're not smart enough to. You're not sophisticated enough to play in our D&D campaign.
Yeah.
No, and then no, and like straight up, the dude who made fun of Alpha Adam in the D&D thing was the Alpha. You know, and it's like the concept of the Alpha.
I wasn't so sure if they did bring up D&D. It was just an arbitrary example.
Yeah, no, it was just an arbitrary example for them. I'm just saying that he wasn't D&D nerd type. But like alphas exist as a thing.
Yeah.
You know, like anybody who says they don't is like, if a man says that, he's just lying to himself to make himself feel better. And if a woman says that, I guarantee you she's cheating on her husband.
But by the way, what did you say that Loudmouth said earlier? He said that he was going to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back in a bit.
He'll be right back. How does the shark skull look, guys?
Oh, I could not hear
Oh,
him. It looks pretty good.
Thank you. Does it look close to completion? What's that dude? Sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Let me see it.
Oh, hold on. Let me zoom out.
Ta-da. Why are you making a sharky boy?
Nom.
I like it.
It does look close to completion, in my opinion.
All right, let's take a look. Just comparing it to the. I haven't traced it, by the way. I'm just using this to reference the shape or whatever when I put underneath. Let's see here. Yep, this looks
good.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you.
I mean, this is I don't know if I personally would be using this art program. I mean, it looks a little bit too tedious for.
Because you don't know anything about art, that's why. A pox on you.
I am a starving artist.
You, Coy.
What's that? No, this is actually pretty simple, dude.
Okay.
This is the way I like set up. But go on, dude.
One of my little sisters, she's like making a whole bunch of like pictures for a little children's book that she's working on. She sent me like a couple of one of them in particular, anyways.
It's
and
the
it looks
sequel to
pretty
Susie's
good.
Two Mommies.
Guys, please don't interrupt each other. Go ahead, Darkon.
Susie's Two Mommies. Actually, it's based off of a tiger, is what her project is. Can I expand the picture? I don't know if I can. Oh, this is sad.
Your hand.
She sent it to me over Messenger. I guess you cannot expand pictures that you go sending over Messenger or whatever.
So is she okay with she's okay with you showing this stuff to other people?
Actually, no. I don't think I will.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Maybe don't show me then.
But yeah, the shark is coming along very nicely. You replace the blue lines with the black lines instead. It's looking more complete.
Oh, let's see. Because I do like a sketch layer like this. This is like a pencil tool. And the nice thing about vectors is that you could just go in and change the color and the brush shape and then duplicate it and then make those changes. Then bam, you're about like halfway done.
Is blue easier for you to get like a basic shape of what you're drawing?
Yeah, that's like to remind myself that that's not the final product, because the black line art, that's like, it's very solid looking, so it makes it easier.
Because me personally, I would probably just go straight to black lines.
Well, you might,
that's just me. That's just me.
Okay, yeah. Well, a lot of artists do it like this, where they do their sketches in a different color, but I don't know. If you want to try it out in a different color, it might help, but of course you do you. Just the only thing is you can change the opacity of your drawing. If it's like a sketch, then I would go over it with line art.
Mm-hmm.
So
how long has it been since left? It's been about 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes actually. I don't know. I'm actually getting kind of hungry right now. Almost tempted to get myself some dinner, and this stream has been going on for a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my God, guys! I just learned something.
What? Yeah.
I can abuse my employees in Viva Pinata.
Ouch.
And and steal money from them, steal their wages. Give me my money back. Right.
Hey, speaking of abusing employees or NPCs or whatever, have you guys how much have you guys been hearing about The Last of Us Part 2?
Everyone hated that.
Yeah,
What I hate every time it comes up, somebody's like, people hate it because they're trannies in it. And I'm like,
No.
I bet it's more simple than that. I bet it's a
No.
lot more complicated than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, fuck yeah. I mean, Critical Drinker, that was the least of his concerns. I listened to Misanthropony's review of it as well. And that was the least of his concern as well, although he did have some criticism about the transgender character. And it is really, for the sake of critiquing the realism, or lack of, rather, of the movie, it is a fair point to be making, to be asking, does anybody really have... Well, it is a game, obviously, but in an apocalyptic world, would you really have time to be getting a transgender procedure?
No.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, well, the person never had a procedure in it, but my point is this, right? People with mental health issues like that would be dead long before they had the time to figure out they were trans.
Or they would probably not have time to worry about their...
But the reason why I brought up Misanthropony, Misanthropony, The Last of Us Part 2, is because apparently in that game, you're able to, like, abuse dogs when playing as Ellie. Like, set them on fire, bludgeon them to death, or whatever else the fuck have you.
Well,
and Misanthropony, like, in particular, had a very big issue to have with that, which... It is kind of unsettling as to why that a person creating a game would put that in there. But at the same time, for the sake of realism, you would, in all reality, be able to, like, kill literally anything. Although I guess...
if I was in the apocalypse, first thing I would do, if it wasn't my dog, yeah, I'd eat the local dogs. Screw you, you're not my dog, I'm going to eat you.
Well, I think the thing is that people had a beef with, other than him, was the fact that the game would then treat you like the bad guy for making that decision, even though did it require you to do that, or it's like I think in some parts it actually required you to do that, and then it would scold you for doing that. It's like, well, you made me do it, you idiot. Yeah,
and there's also, there is one part that I know that, at least according to Misanthropony anyways, is that... what was I about to say? Is that there's one part in the story where Ellie, like, holds a knife up to a pregnant woman's throat, or actually,
yeah,
I think she full out kills the woman. Actually,
oof.
No, and my understanding, because I never played the first one, but my understanding of why so many people freaked out about that is just because, like, the character of Ellie never would have done that ever.
Yeah, precisely.
You know?
Like
Joel might have, but Joel was a cynical fucking bastard.
And Guts would do that. Sorry.
Right. Hello, Arkham.
Well, actually, no, I don't know about Guts, actually. Well, I don't know if he would do that to a pregnant woman, but the thing is that he did use a child as a human shield once.
Right.
Right. And if you want to see a video on like a really good criticism of Last of Us 2, go look at the Closer Looks video, and he just breaks down, like, piece by piece, how these aren't characters, they're prop pieces pretending to be characters, basically.
Yep.
Like Joel in Last of Us 2 would never have made the mistakes that he did to get himself killed.
Yep.
And
Joel seems to be the biggest one, is that they botch his character from the original one to shoehorn in this revenge story in the second one.
Right, because like just the opening scene with Joel alone is like he's not keeping his back to a wall. He's not being wary, and like he just tells those people his fucking name right off the bat, even though he knows he's like the most wanted man on earth. You know. Yeah, and like multiple things like that, and it's like, dude, this is the apocalypse. I would keep my back to a wall. or I would be like strategically positioned near a door. Meanwhile, this Joel is just like, "Hi, people I don't know. My name's Joel. I'm the guy who killed everyone you love and know."
Hey, by the way, guys, I'm going to go away for a second because that
Okey-dokey.
timer that you heard a little
Don't
bit
leave
earlier.
me.
That timer you heard a little bit earlier was the wash. Now I'm gonna put my clothes in the dryer. So
Right.
I'll be back.
I do have to get some water, so I will also be right back. Sorry.
All right.
What's been going on lately? I've been like busy, so
Hey, who's this?
I am our Knight Rider. I'm person.
Whoa, I thought you were not a person.
Yes, I know it's very shocking. I am person.
All right, so apparently we control the channel now. This will be the Big Butts and what's a shitty music EDM channel. You good with that?
What?
Are you good with turning this into a twerking and EDM channel now that we control it?
I'm sorry, I'm not into that, man. You do that with your significant other on your own time, buddy. Okay. Look, I am not one to do that.
Don't worry, me neither. That's why I picked it.
So what have we been discussing lately on this one? This episode?
This is just a hangout stream talking about, like, we've been all over the place from talking about space Nazis and stuff like that to like Stargate Atlantis and whatnot. You know, just random stuff.
All right. Just gonna put this on the thing.
I'm playing Viva Pinata, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of these damn sour pinatas.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back.
No, go away, sour pinata. Leave me. I swear to God, I get one more sour pinata, I'm going to build the wall. Hello there, people in the chat. Sorry, I can't see your chatting, but if I go to look at YouTube, StreamYards will quit on me for some reason. I don't know why, it just does.
All right, I have returned. What's going on?
Hi.
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 Okay, yeah. Everyone else is gone. Come back.
Nope, they've abandoned us. We're alone and sad, boys.
You misgendered me.
Oh no, you used the word guys.
Okay, don't worry. No.
All right, I'm back, y'all.
Yay. Hello.
Soup.
Hello.
I just had to get my things. But yeah, I had to go upstairs and get a Band-Aid because I caught my finger on something.
Ouch.
On all this edge that we have on this stream.
No. A wound. There was a wound. I got something caught. I got a wound on my finger caught on something. So that was kind of painful.
Oh yeah,
Damn it,
sorry
Worm.
I haven't. Sorry I haven't been able to join your streams, dude. Just been busy.
Hey,
Right.
Arkham, have you ever played Viva Pinata?
No, I've not played Viva Pinata.
Pinata.
I know how to do that. That was
Yeah.
intentional. That was intentional.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say that was the single whitest pinata in history.
I'm gonna have this.
And I've been drawing a sharky. Look, what's a shark skull?
It's a
Nom,
shark.
nom,
Why
nom.
why are you drawing a shark?
This is because this is for a friend's game. He commissioned me to do artwork for his game.
Like as a poster?
No, the whole thing itself, dude. Or just the assets, rather.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
That's odd, but cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Is he an actual programmer, or
Yeah, he's doing stuff.
is he like a
knows how to-
Sargon of Akkad programmer?
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but no, he knows how to code stuff.
Learn to code.
Yes, learn to code. What do you mean that Sargon of Akkad's a programmer?
Sargon got a long time ago did a GoFundMe to make a video game and then gave up.
Dude.
No, funny thing is people still trash him to this day about it. Like they're like, "Hey, he stole money to make a game and then didn't make a game." And it's like, but he refunded everybody.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, at least. And that's more than what Yandere Sim does. Yandere Dev does, rather.
Mhm.
It's like, dude, just hand programming over to somebody else. It's like, I'm one of those people who are honestly starting to think that, or I mean, I used to be a fan of Yandere Simulator, but then it's like the way the developer behaves is like, this guy's a scam artist, isn't he? Or just a very incompetent.
what is Yandere Simulator? This sounds terrifying.
Oh, well, that's basically what it is. You would play as a Yandere character, or just some. Well, people have criticized it, saying like, "Oh, you're not even really playing a Yandere; it's just a violent kudere." You know what a kudere is, right?
I don't know what a Yandere is. All I know is it's anime and hentai stuff. And any time
it's not necessarily hentai. It's just an arc. Well, you have the different because they're different love interests. A Yandere is a character who basically they're supposed to start out as like a normal girl, but then as time goes on, they're basically like a girl who would. Murder, who would go as far as to murder her competition off, basically.
Oh, like what's her name in that whole like God Diary anime?
Yeah, was it you? Yeah,
Oh, dude, that chick was legitimately terrifying. A lot of people are like, "That's unrealistic," and I'm like, "People are fighting each other with diaries that God created. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, but I was talking. Well, okay, one thing at a time. You're right. I was talking to Herbert Monster. Because Yandere is basically one type of love interest. Like I was saying, basically the don't stick your dick in crazy, chick. And then you have Koderi, which is a character who, basically, she is very emotionally withdrawn. She's very asocial, but then she will warm up to the protagonist or whoever her love interest is.
That's Hinata.
Yeah, are you talking about Evangelion
Naruto.
there? Oh no, Naruto. No, I was thinking about basically that chick from Evangelion probably is very well known for
Ray?
that. Right.
Clone Girl.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but all I know is that she's considered a kudere. But yeah, people have criticized Yandere Simulator, saying, you don't even play as a Yandere, you play as a violent kudere because she has no emotions. Or she has some very weird condition where she has no emotions.
That just sounds like he's creating an awkward Yandere.
No, it's a kudere. She'd be a kudere because she wouldn't express emotions because a kudere, that's what a kudere is. They're very withdrawn or social. Yeah, they're very emotionally and socially withdrawn. So that would be a kudere. Whereas a yandere is someone who, they will start out as someone who seems normal, and then they will become, and then you'll realize, oh, this chick is crazy. Go ahead.
Like, look, I love anime, but this shit's confusing as fuck.
So, Arkham.
Language,
Yes.
dude.
How have you been?
Lately, I've been working on stuff for college, which has been kind of, just been interesting to say the least.
Been working on stuff
Ended
for
up,
college?
I was part of this thing called Film Cult, but I kind of quit that after a while because it just got boring. The movies got kind of boring for the most part, and simply I just couldn't have between college and Crap Movie Collective and all that jazz. I just couldn't balance out Film Cult in there, so I was just like, I'm just gonna.
And sorry
pass
that
up.
I couldn't participate in Crap Movie Collection as much as I could, as much as I probably should have.
Yeah, if you want to, we could every weekend, you and I could watch that whatever week's movie. If you want to.
I mean, it's an idea. I do not know if I would like to do it every week, every once a week, because sometimes a week gets.
Whenever you have time, we could watch the film, or you can watch the film with me.
Probably would have had time this last weekend because a whole bunch of my plans that I had for this weekend and this week in general got squashed because Full disclosure here, folks. I told this to Loudmouth, but he's gone now. Is that I had a little bit of a brush with coronavirus.
Okay.
So now you're immune. You got superpowers.
But you still need to be vaccinated and be forced to wear a mask.
I ended up like this last Sunday. I ended up hugging my asymptomatic sister, who ended up testing positive the next day.
Dude, it was annoys the hell out of me about the whole the herd immunity won't work crowd. Is that a vaccine is simulated herd immunity? You scientifically illiterate idiots.
And I actually got a test yesterday, and my test results came in, and I'm coming out negative. So
yay!
Basically, I stayed at home for the entire week, pretty much, aside from work. I mean, I was allowed by my HR manager to come into work as long as I masked up and stayed away from people. But nonetheless, my plans got crapped on. Basically, for big.
So basically the same thing that happens to everybody with coronavirus.
Or with most diseases, rather. Nope, that's not going to work. I wanted this to go nom 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 up and down.
Nom nom. You are obsessed with the nom 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 sound. I love it.
Okay, right. I guess this is done. I'm going to show this to my friend Postal Cat and see what he thinks.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm also good. I might be an editor now for someone, so that'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
Oh, cool! Like a movie editor or video editor or something.
Video editor.
Cool. Are they gonna pay you?
No, I'm just doing. I'm just doing it because to help him out more often.
All right, I'm gonna show this to my friend, see what he thinks.
I mean, not that this question is any of my business at all, but you getting a job or something?
Wait for me?
How dare you make me a slave?
Arkham, the question was directed towards you.
What was it again?
Do you have a job or are you getting a job?
No, I don't. I don't.
Oh. Okay.
Jobs are wage slavery,
Re.
Hey, did you guys see the did you guys see the little highlight clip that I uploaded on my channel of me debating a Marxist?
Oh,
I yet to get the chance to see that because lately I've been a little busy with
I have
stuff.
to see that.
You have to see that?
Was that the Marxist that we were messing with a while ago?
Yep.
Dude, I loved that guy because straight up you'd argue with him. And no, I pointed out every communist is pro-violent revolution, and that's a bad thing. And he's like, huh? Where does it say that? And it's like, wait a second, you've never read Karl Marx, have you?
Go ahead.
No, and it turns out he read 200 pages of Das Kapital and found it boring.
I did not get that part, but then again, a whole lot of the arguments that happened between you guys and him, I just ended up brushing past because there's so fucking much arguing that happened in the server at that time.
We basically ended up finding out that he was a communist that has never read communist literature.
Yikes.
Right. And it's like,
go on.
No, and it's like, dude, I literally read more literature of communists than you have.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead and watch the highlight clip and tell me if you think there was a way that I could have done better or whatever. Have any of you guys watched?
Could have thrown him from a helicopter.
No, what have any of us watched?
Oh, I was just asking, have any of y'all watched the Best of 2020 compilation?
I have not. I have though. I have finished the Snyder Cut though.
I watched that, and the problem with the Snyder Cut is you have to inherently compare it to the theatrical release.
Whoops! Oh no! Sorry, guys. Go on.
Yeah.
Right. I got you, Trucker.
I'm guessing you didn't like it, which is fine. I mean, I don't really care, but
my problem with I just have a big problem with the Warner Brothers DC in general.
Fair. I get you. That whole thing is a mess. I'm glad that Zack Snyder actually got to, produce something instead of having a hack like Joss Whedon mess it up. And keep in mind, I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan on the planet, but I'd still take him over Joss Whedon any day.
I got to say this, just a real quick addition. I don't think we can actually blame Joss Whedon for the theatrical release cut.
Wasn't Joss Whedon like the director of the first Avengers and a producer for Toy Story?
He has hands in that. He also has hands in Cabin in the Woods, and he created, was it Serenity and was Firefly? Was it?
Yeah, no, he was the main talent behind Firefly, which was amazing. I finally understand all the nerds screeching about too soon.
Firefly and Serenity, they were decent, and also Cabin in the Woods. I thought that was fun to watch, at least the first time. Anyways, don't know if I'd go back for it again, but it was. I watched that with a couple of family members. And it was fun.
Cabin in the Woods is like the parody with the stoner dude, right?
Yes.
That is a top tier parody. It really is.
What's wrong, buddy?
No, I think it's terrible.
Well, I think you're terrible.
It's basically just it wants to be the next Scream, except it doesn't understand what's made Scream work in any kind of way, and just feels like, hey, look, it's cliche. We point out it's cliche, but do nothing interesting about it. And keep in mind, I'm not the biggest Scream fan on the planet, but it's leagues above Cabin in the Woods.
Let me tell you the biggest reason why I personally like it, because of the subversion of expectations with the stoner.
God, I'm having Star Wars flashbacks.
Uh-oh.
No,
you said subverting expectations.
I'm not meaning to say that subversion
like Ryan Johnson
is good. I'm not even trying to say. I'm definitely not trying to say that the Star Wars sequels are good. But I'm just saying that I like the subversion of expectations with the stoner, because at first you expect that he is going to be the dweeb, the annoying comedy relief that was supposed to be killed off very early on. But then he turns out to be a badass going later into the movie.
I don't think he was a badass as much as it was he's like reacting to shit. And he's like,
Well, it came out with basically stoner Hank Hill.
Then again, the only piece Joss Whedon's kind of a weird one for me. I like some of the stuff, the animated movies he helped write for, but I don't think that. Then again, other people helped work on them, so I don't think he's responsible for those, like Atlantis and all that.
He helped make Atlantis Lost Empire?
Yeah, he was one of the writers. Like one of the 10 writers or whatever worked on that thing. Which I like Atlantis a lot. I remember having a lot of fun with that movie.
Wasn't he also the main creative mind behind Buffy the Vampire?
I have not seen Buffy. I've seen the animated pilot, but I've not seen the show.
Which I do not understand the love that like 90s girls have of Buffy the Vampire. It is so basic.
Well, it's simple. It's because it's targeted towards them. Was it aired on the CW? I could be wrong.
No, but that would be.
It's like it's in that same vein where it's a bunch of pretty people,
right?
And you have a bunch of monsters with bad effects and all that shit.
Oh god.
So, yeah.
God, I'm having Batwoman flashbacks now. God damn it.
No, Batwoman's not the worst.
Credit card.
Batwoman is not the worst thing CW has ever produced. That goes to
if you say the Flash is the worst, I will get so mad at you.
No. It's Charmed. Both versions are Charmed. Charmed is what happens if you took the craft and took out everything that worked about it. Like not everything that worked about the craft is not in Charmed. Good characters? No. Relatable? No.
What they did to my dude from fucking Bones.
Yeah.
By the way, we've been running so long on this live stream that Zachary Colley left and then came back again from doing an errand or something.
Is that okay?
No, it's horrible. We should all feel bad.
Yes, you should all feel terrible for wasting my time by trying to host you guys' ass on my tiny little 78 subscriber channel. But
it's more subscribers than I have,
wait a
bro.
second. I'm about to say that's less subscribers than I have, and I haven't made a video in like 4 years.
I'm in the 200s range, and I barely, and I haven't posted since I don't know, a few months ago.
Yeah, I really need to get back on the ball of edited response videos because I think the live streams are starting to get old for people.
I like the live streams though; they're fun.
Well, you're part of them, obviously. You make them fun.
True.
Well, I'm talking about. Well, I'm more referring to my primary channel, though. Koi Monster.
Okay.
Oh yeah. How many you got on your primary channel nowadays?
How many subscribers?
Yes. How many subs are you doming?
731.
Oh, okay. It's like 4 times what I got. I want to start making videos again, and I'll probably start doing that soon. But I'm going to end up hiring a video editor.
Yeah. For me,
hey, Arkham. There's your employer.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm gonna be busy. I don't know. I need to ask how many videos.
Well, I mean, do you like money?
Well, I can't accept the money.
You like money?
Right now, I legit can't accept the money due to certain circumstances in real life. So,
Okay. Shh. We'll keep quiet then. No, I mean I wasn't trying to shush you, Arkham, but anyway.
Also, just saying, if it's a matter of breaking the law, I kind of don't care.
No. I'm talking about something else. I'd rather not get into.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Let's quit harassing Arkham then. Trucker.
No, I will harass him. He made my favorite video game of Batman ever.
What?
Oh, okay.
Arkham Asylum reference.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yes. A name which I got for Razor Fist.
Wait, what? You know Razor Fist?
Yeah, that's where my name came from. Came from a Razor Fist video.
By the way, Zachary Colley, any ideas for edited responses? The Tim Horn response video and a response video to Secular Talk beforehand that is actually directly tied into the Tim Horn response video. That's what
Tim Horn has made me sad.
That makes me a very sad panda.
But, yeah,
no, I remember when Tim Horn wasn't a total moron.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Tim Horn. Tim Horn used to be in Similar Spheres Towers and wasn't a total idiot.
Wait, really? So you saying that you used to watch him way back in the day?
Yeah, I used to hang out with him.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me this.
Yeah. No, and then he left for a long time, and then he came back as a total fucking I'm a stoicist and an SJW. I'm like, that makes no sense.
What the hell?
I thought he hated SJWs, though.
What the hell?
He is one, though.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Well, yeah, you're not totally wrong because he thinks that the idea of criticizing a homosexual for their lifestyle is the same as wishing that they were dead or that they did not exist.
No, it's like Shoe on Head. She used to make fun of the damn SJWs, and let's be honest, she practically is one these days.
No.
Oh yeah, well, Shoe on Head, I never particularly liked. I've always found her videos. Like, every one of her videos, even now, it seems like the highest picture quality is like 480p. It's just ugly to look at.
Actually, that's been a meme on her channel for like ever, and she refuses to change it just because she loves that people still comment on that.
So apparently the name Tim Horn is like a more widespread name than I thought it was, because not only are you making references to how he was back in the past, but Night Shift 10,000 did as well, like coming off the heels of him responding to me.
Yeah, no, he just used to not be an idiot. Then he accused me of being a fascist because I own Mein Kampf. And to which I responded with, okay, I also own Das Kapital. Am I a fascist communist?
What did he say in response?
Well, I mean by that definition.
Wait, Arkham. What did he say in response, though, Trucker?
He literally refused to respond. The thing was, I don't remember why it came up, but there was a conversation going on, and I mentioned owning Mein Kampf and Doctrine of Fascism. Saying that everybody. I remember it. I said everybody should own these books. That way they can understand like what these people are like. He's like, well, do you own them? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, look at that. The mask is slipping. Like it's some big reveal. Ooh.
Oh my god.
You cannot. Apparently, you cannot inform yourself of your opponent's positions. Otherwise, you are literally of those positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just responded like, well, I also own Das Kapital and the Communist Manifesto. So, what about that?
Because
sorry, you're saying earlier though, Arkham.
I was saying by that definition, my very, very, very liberal and lefty high school should also be considered fascist because they have Mein Kampf in their library.
Oh no, we gotta go kill them.
Your school is literally recruiting neo-Nazis for the rising of the Fourth Reich, Arkham.
Your school is literally Hitler. It's not a Nazi institution.
Guys, don't worry. Guys, but they had a goes to essay or not essays. They had to go to like these little, stupid little speeches from people. Like there was one time I remember we stopped class just so we could go to some woman blathering and screaming about how about like was it racism or whatever, and I'm like
or whatever
if you really want to, but why not? Stupid. But then again, I can't entirely blame because some of the kids at our school were legitimately scumbags. I'm not going to get into it, but they were scumbag. There were some scumbags in there for sure on both sides.
It reminds me of that one lady. You ever seen like the fat black lady with the like why racism bad? By the way, here's my PayPal.
Oh wait,
who's doing this motion?
Yeah. She's like, you're all a bunch of racists. Here's my PayPal.
And that's literally her whole speech is bad people or white people bad and okay. It's like that.
Therefore, give me money.
I will admit, my school never did that. My school never did that. They weren't that stupid. However, our school also worshipped Kelly Tran.
That's what you're talking about, Trucker?
No. There's some fat lady in like a leotard.
I know who you're talking about, dude.
I thought this is the meme that you were referring to at first.
No, that's the sassy black woman meme.
No, there's this one that's like some fat black lady in like a green leotard.
Yeah,
and
that
it's like
one.
why you are all a bunch of racists and on this like not a chalkboard, but like the hell you call that marker board?
Whiteboard.
And then it also had a thing about like, hey, by the way, my PayPal.
Yeah, but actually, I'm sorry, but I was just gonna say, did I ever tell you, Dark Con, about how my school, high school, worshipped Kelly Marie Tran for a bit?
I think you did.
I don't remember who that is.
I'm going to tell Coy and
Yeah,
I can't see. Is Zachary? Says he? No, Zachary's the guy in front. I can't see the other guy's name.
Yeah,
Reckless. This is Reckless Trucker. He goes by. He keeps on changing his name to other goofy things to
right.
I guess keep with the theme of Reckless Trucker, but also to be his silly self.
Right. All right. So basically,
at one point, it was Rectron the Penetrator. I love that one.
Rectron the Penetrator. Anyways, okay. So basically, when The Last Jedi was not released yet, but it was coming out. We got in one of these many school rallies we had to go to.
Ugh.
We got a TV. It was like not a big TV, but it's kind of like this medium sized TV, just kind of rolled in, and then you see like a Star Wars compilation of like clips from like old and new Star Wars. I think even prequels, original trilogy were kind of spliced in. And the reason why they did it was because Kelly Marie Tran apparently attended our high school. And then afterwards, when the movie came out, because I decided at one point, because this was before the film was released, no real ill will toward Kimberly Tran. I have more issues with the script than her herself. Let's get that abundantly clear.
Wait a second. Was that the Asian lady?
Yes, it was Rose.
From Star Wars.
She wasn't a bad actress, but my God, that script turned her into a bad actress.
Yep.
Right. Like I see
Johnson
I saw
the George Lucas effect.
I saw Raya, and she was actually good in that. So again, it really depends on what she's given. So what happened was that I decided to make. I think at one point I even made like. This was before I saw the movie. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna have her like some fan art of her that was like randomly from the internet, just post it on. And it was like no one minded too much. And then I think the school kept remaining quiet about it for a bit, and I didn't hear much about it till I went to I think was it digital arts or some class, something digital media. And the teacher there, I looked at the corner of my, because he's a big Star Wars fan. I looked in the corner of my eye and his desk, and I saw a shrine of Rose Tiku merchandise.
God.
Ew.
Why?
Why?
I think I even played around with one of it.
I bet you that they had a placard of the quote, we're not going to win this war by killing the ones we hate, but by saving the ones we love.
No, there was no plaques. And at one point, I just looked at, and he was friendly enough. Like we were talking about like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and all that jazz. And then I think it was around the time Solo was released when I heard this stupid response. Solo bombed. Guys, I mean, I think there was conspiracy against Solo.
Oh no!
That's why it failed, and it just sounds like a raving madman. He was also like, he made a few remarks about like Trump. That's like expected.
Cringe, fucking cringe.
But the funniest thing, he stopped an entire class just to show us the Rise of Skywalker teaser when it dropped.
Wait a minute, who stopped the class to show the Rise of Skywalker?
The teacher. What? Guys, we gotta watch the Rise of Skywalker teaser. It just came out.
The people who pretend that the sequels are good, like there's something wrong with them.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd argue that I'd argue that the first two were just fine filler science fiction films. They're not the worst things ever. I've seen. You have to understand. Okay. If you've seen the films I've watched over the years, those films look like those are whatever. But Rise of Skywalker, now that's a film. That's a bad movie. That is a legit piece of garbage. And
here's what I think of Star Wars. Like, The Force Awakens was a safe bet. They played it safe. It was only decent or passable because they played it safe by just doing a rehash, basically. The Last Jedi was mean-spirited and hate-filled. Rise of Skywalker was so insultingly stupid. That's the way I look at it.
No, The Last Jedi, I wouldn't say it was mean-spirited.
Hey, Koi Monster, is your shark shooting a laser out of their mouth?
Yeah, I want to see if you're
awesome.
Here, I'll finish up in a second.
But it was... I hated it just because like they crammed in some stupid anti-capitalist message, and it's like,
okay, like, I'm not saying it's right, but you're expecting a commie supported company like Disney to be supportive of capitalism. I'm not too surprised.
No, I expect any human with half a shred of decency to be an anti-communist.
Well, this is Disney we're talking about. They're basically
they basically are Disney villains. But no, I just expect anybody with half a moral bone in their body to not like communism.
Oh no, I'm sorry though. According to Vouch, communism, China's not a communist country, okay?
Because it's not my communism that I would make perfectly, even though I'm a fat fucking slob.
Right.
Vouch. I find it funny. He was like again, I don't like this other person he brought up either. But I like how he was like saying how Lily Pete is the worst thing ever when he does not have the best track record either at all. It's like, nice calling out your own reflection there, buddy.
All communists are bad people inherently. Like, no, you're a bad person. Just
communism is scum. I agree. Communism is scum.
Fuck communism.
And as far as I'm concerned, they're worse than Nazis.
But what I kind of wanted to say to Arkham,
No, I wouldn't go that far. I said they're on par. They're on par.
They killed more than Nazis if we're going by the numbers.
I'm
By the numbers, I guess,
loser.
but that doesn't mean their moral values are ones where I think they're both equally horrible.
Oh no! Once you hit the septic tank of moral trash, you can't go any further.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Guys,
mine
what I was kind of wanting to say though, in response to Arkham, of how that I rank all the Disney movies like, from worst to best, and this is like totally my opinion. This is not having anything to do with any objectivity, although I do weigh that in somewhat. But from worst to best, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, Attack of the Clones, New Hope, Phantom Menace, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and then Return of the Jedi.
Okay, you said Return of the Jedi is the best one? Good.
That's my most favorite.
Good, okay,
even
you're
though
cool then.
consensus is that the Empire
At least he didn't go with the generic answer and say Empire.
Well, I understand as to how
Empire's good. Empire is good.
You're making this
it's a great movie.
derpy.
But I hear there's so many people say it's the greatest Star Wars movie ever. When Return of the Jedi, I think it has more emotional stakes. Even though the obvious "I'm your father" scene, without a doubt, yes. But the rest of the movie, do you really remember what happened the rest of the film outside of the battle at Hoth and the thing at what was the place called? Landor? What was the place? Cloud City.
Oh, Sky City.
Oh, okay.
Cloud City.
Yeah, I
Cloud
remember.
City. And Yoda. Besides those things, what do you remember?
Bespin was the name of the planet, and Cloud City was the name of the space station over Bespin.
Guys, look. I'm a firing my loser. Ah!
Yeah. It's like
You guys want a copy of this?
he's shocked by his own laser.
I'm a firing my laser. Blah.
I love it. He's adorable.
I'll send it to you later.
Hey, real quick. What does it cost to commission you?
Ooh, that depends, dude. And I am completely swamped with projects.
Aww.
I
need more starving artists. God damn it.
Well, if you want to discuss like a project or something, or like if you want to help fund my work, we can discuss it afterwards. But
well, I'm gonna get back into making videos in a few months, and I need a. Oh my God, the piñatas are dancing like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Go on, dude.
But no, I was going to say, and so I basically need somebody to do artwork and somebody to edit videos.
I could possibly do thumbnails for you, but because actually those are pretty easy. So, my
art style is literally just a chibi smiley face.
Okay.
That says well, yeah, the avatar that he uses in his videos. Actually, let me pull up one of his videos. His most recent one, actually.
No, not the most recent one. It's horrible.
That's what makes it so endearing and lovable.
Hold on, let me look, guys.
You gotta watch his worst video. Gotta watch it.
Wait, which one was it? Like, was that the Bernie Sanders or the Don Lemon one?
Oh wait, 2010 to now in Dear Sister Seconds. Wait a minute, that's not the one I was thinking.
I love that one. That one's great.
I will send that to you. That transparency to you. Hold on one moment, or I'll send it to Darkon so we can send it to you then.
Right. The alt-right to eat pizza with chain view. What?
With chair view. It's alt-right to eat pizza with chair view.
Wait, what the fuck?
Hey,
Back when they were accusing Papa John's of being a Nazi.
This was a collab that Reckless Trucker apparently did with Chairview, and I always get a kick out of the intro. But
When the world seems to shine
I'm not gonna have us watch the whole thing. I just want to watch the intro. Is all.
like you've had too much wine, that's some order.
Do not come to my video telling me I'm supporting the alt-right or people like Antifa on the left, because I will laugh in your face. Also be aware, the original article we are responding to is no longer up because Daily Stormer has been shut down again, acting as if and claiming the Daily Stormer is, what the fuck? Oh no.
Oh yeah! I heard you talking about Papa John's in the Daily Stormer and was wondering if I could join in. If that's all right with you. Eh?
Wait, I have a question. Why do you have a Texas accent? Why are you talking like this? Yeah,
Because he is Texan, you dingus.
He's not like the stereotypical one, though.
No, because that was the setup for me going, eh.
Ah.
But I just love that intro because Sheriff View, he's playing it all straight, and he's like the more sophisticated guy, and then you are just like the crazy office rocker, but classy comedic type. Well, not so classy. Comedic
I was gonna say, where the fuck have you been?
Sorry, what?
I was gonna say, where the fuck have you been calling me classy? Jesus Christ.
Well, not so classy, but just anyway, it almost like a buddy cop sort of duo right here. The intro right there. I just get a kick out of it. That's all. But yes,
I love
that is his avatar that he uses for his videos or his. Coin Monster, just a little.
Rectail, why do you have no mouth?
That one has no mouth for when I'm not talking. I have a whole host of like reactions, and there's an angry face with a snaggle tooth.
Okay, so did someone just like completely remove your mouth one day? If that's the case, I feel very sorry for you. It's a common thing for people with no mouths.
No, somebody fucked my mouth off. They face fucked it till it was gone.
Oh, okay, tragedy. We got to get a Kickstarter for his mouth. Okay, we can't give him British teeth though. We can't give him the British teeth.
Also, there's a lore story behind why my character is chibi. I used to just be straight up emojis, and one day my character.
Hey, I'm playing the video.
Yeah.
To give an illustration.
Making the innocent weak. My existence on this planet's for you. I ain't only here to benefit.
Okay.
Actually seen.
I didn't want
to got
copyright.
Talk about the WikiLeaks guy no longer being accused of rape. What to do? What?
I don't know what happened with the audio on that.
Good.
Oh, no.
Good.
Over girl.
Very, very bold. I like that a lot. Anime characters do.
Just look at me. All of her blood must have changed me somehow. Fuck, now I need to wash my truck off. Why I hate anime schoolgirls.
Most of you chumps.
So dumb. I ran over an anime schoolgirl and ended up becoming chibi.
Well, honestly, you should get a medal. You should get a medal.
Anything to deal with the lolly scum.
Yes.
1 year ago. But yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, look at my thumbnail for the ISIS video. That's left, what? Down, left, there. Thumbnail for the ISIS video.
Update just what was destroyed. Oh, the Islamic State reveals its Air Force. Oh, God, no.
No, thumbnails for my channel are usually just dumb memes. They're like vaguely related to it.
Oh. Okay. So, hey, Loudmouth.
Yes.
So, I don't know if how comfortable you feel like talking about this right here, but when are you going to get back into movie reviews?
I don't know.
Because
But we love you, Loudmouth.
We love you, Loudmouth.
It's just the internet's such a fucking cesspool, though, man.
Why don't you review the movies I want you to review? I have a ton of films you can review.
It's just like the internet's such a fucking a cesspool. Like every time I look at any Twitter comments section, I choke on a bunch of black pills.
I thought you were about to say dicks.
Huh?
Oh, we'll kind of walk into that one right in there.
All those black pills taste sour because the depraved state of our society just is like depressing.
You ought to
okay.
do...
Loudmouth. Why did you sound British at one point?
British?
Yeah, you sounded British. British?
He says he's
the
Greek.
British scum. What you ought, in that case, you ought to do what like Paul Harold does, where he records his videos, posts it, and literally ignores the internet.
I don't know. That's hard to do. I read all the comments on my videos.
You read all the comments?
All the comments.
Why?
Do you think that the internet would jump on you even for reviewing Gargoyles and finishing that?
Who knows? Who would have thought a kid smiling at some dipshit banging a drum in his face would cause the internet to freak out? But the internet is full of a bunch of...
Wait, what's going on? I forgot. What was the context behind that?
But I'm saying the internet is chock full of psychopaths and CCP bots, and it's a nightmare.
That was the MAGA kids supposedly being alt-right and racist because they didn't let an Indian dude bully them.
Right. But
that one.
Go to the comments section among any politician who's like critical of the CCP or any major figure. You get like all these thousands of accounts who are just a string of like random numbers who have been, the accounts are usually only a couple months old, who just post, "You suck."
I am American, I swear.
I swear, guys, I am not commie. Please don't shoot.
Yeah, no one likes you. Let's bring up January 6th for the bazillionth time because that's totally relevant.
God, I hate the fucking. It was an insurrection, people.
I mean, I don't like what those dipshits did that day, but they act like it was like the worst thing that ever happened in human history.
Did you see that when asked about the Portland rioters in the federal courthouse?
Yeah.
A Democrat actually said, "Well, those riots happened at night, so it wasn't as bad."
Yeah, I heard that one. Yes. If the guys at the Trump rally had done it at night, it would have been okay.
That makes it not an insurrection.
Yeah.
No, it's very simple. It's very simple. When our side does it, it's okay. When the other side does it, it's bad.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like what they did, and I particularly was furious at what Trump did there. But mostly what he said that Mike Pence betrayed him because he didn't exercise the power the vice president doesn't have. That really pissed me off.
Oh no, Trump was just spouting off about shit. Keep in mind, he doesn't know constitutional law in any way, shape, and form.
He swore to uphold it when he became president. He put his hand on the Bible, he swore to uphold it.
Yeah, so did Obama, and we saw how that turned out.
Yeah,
so it was literally just George Bush with socialism.
Gross.
That's what it was.
Pretty much, yeah. It was. So the whole. So I didn't like what happened that day, but goddamn, is it insufferable listening to these idiots act like it was like the worst thing that ever happened, or that anyone who like every single Republican is like now a criminal against society because they might have, I don't know, bumped into someone who was at that rally one time. I don't know. It's insane.
Because they might have voted for the insurrectionist in chief.
Right.
No, and these are the exact same people that literally said things like, they're not rioters, they're peaceful protesters, meanwhile burning building behind them.
Oh, but now they care about the Asian people whose property they destroyed.
Yes,
Oops.
they care. They
And not
care
to
a lot
mention
about
vilify.
Asian lives while they're accepting millions and millions of dollars from the Chinese Communist Party, who's murdering how many Asian people as we speak.
Right, and then they blame white people for black people attacking Asians.
But worse than that, though, the Chinese Communist Party is literally putting out propaganda now about how the United States is like terrible and racist, and Asian people are being attacked there. It's so insufferable. It's such where do these fuckers get off? You've literally your ethnic minorities in concentration camps being used as slave labor. You absolute slime, and the left enable these people because they create a narrative that the Chinese Communist Party you can easily pick up and use.
Look! These are the same people that say things like "no bad tactics, just bad targets." So,
right,
yeah.
Well, spoilers to most people. I've supported Asian culture. Well, not Chinese because fuck communism. But I've supported Asian culture more than most of these assholes have.
Right. But the amount of waifus I've jacked off to, guys.
No. That's not what I mean.
Taiwan, the Republic of China.
Because fuck anime. Fuck anime. No, I watched because again, I grew up on like Godzilla and Gamera, and then I have like Gamera. Have you seen the Kaneko Gamera trilogy?
No.
I'm talking to the guy who was saying Gamera. Erectile?
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I just love the song. I just love the song.
And like Asian cultures aren't like a monolith, I mean, the differences between Korea, China, and
there's a lot of differences.
Or hell, just between Taiwan, the Republic of China, and Communist China, the difference between those two societies is just vast.
Oh yeah.
In Taiwan, the average the average person has 3 times more money than in Communist China. They have a dramatically higher stance of freedom. It shows how a Chinese society can function and be a free and decent society if they throw off the shackles of communism.
And if they respect their culture instead of use it as propaganda.
Like China.
Yeah.
I gotta love how everyone was like supporting that one movie for a little bit, White Snake. If anyone remembers that film. The Chinese animated film, it's like, wow, the people in China are making their own movies with their own culture. They've been doing that for centuries. The only difference now is they're not depending on us to make them anymore. They're doing it themselves.
Oh, sorry,
that's the only difference.
Oh no, I fucked up.
He fucked up in his game of Viva Pinata.
That's when he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, I planted something I shouldn't have. Damn it! Can I destroy it?
Fuck! Again, keep in mind, I'm not saying Japan is only. I'm not saying that Japan is just Godzilla land. I understand. However,
it's not just anime land.
It's not anime land. It's not Godzilla land. It's not even though I think they have perfected the genre of horror even than most countries have. For the most part.
Anyone? Oh, sorry, I've never seen his films. Really, just like glimpses of them. Sorry.
Bruce Lee was my dad's hero.
Yes,
I've seen one Bruce Lee film, and that was, I believe, Fight of Fury. Fist of Fury. That's the one.
Fist of Fury.
With Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris was in a bunch of his films, so yeah. What else?
Or I should say more specifically, Bruce Lee was my dad's childhood hero.
That reminds me of this one dipshit leftist on Twitter. He photographed a picture of this random Asian dude in a mask, at the January 6th rally, and he claimed that they snapped a photo proving Andy Ngo was at the rally. It wasn't it wasn't Andy Ngo. It was a totally different looking Asian guy.
Wow. There's a word for that they like to overuse, but I can't quite think of it.
That's
and a lot of the
wonderful.
joke people were trolling this guy by like posting pictures of Asian celebrities, like Jackie Chan. Is this Andy? Or one guy posted a picture
Andy? No.
of Mao Zedong. It says, "Does Andy know?"
That's great. No, dude. Have you seen the one of the like white girl? She's like 18 years old, and she actually says that beauty standards are racist because white people are prettier, and therefore we need to get rid of beauty standards. And it's like, oh my god,
there's circle theory in action. But this is the second time because over the summer, okay, there was this one incident that was also. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I could laugh at how fucking stupid these idiots were, but I also could cry because it's sad knowing that there are people that stupid that seem to be running the society. Okay, this random guy who looked nothing like Andy No. Okay, walks into this rally in Portland. Okay, and these Antifa rioters start heckling him, berating him, and claiming he's Andy No. He's like,
"Oh, I remember that.
This is ridiculous. I am not," and and they're saying that he's like antagonizing them by being there. So he's antagonizing them by being Asian. You stupid motherfuckers. God.
No. A friend of mine had a similar experience, but like LGBT. So like there was a surprising amount of LGBT votes for Trump this time around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they mentioned how, like, going into lefty spheres, people were acting suspicious of, like, trans and gay people and stuff because, like, they were, like, trying to, like, purge the ones that voted for Trump away from them.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, look at that. The communists becoming homophobic at the first chance they can. Surprise.
Well, no shit, communists are homophobic. I mean, China treats gay people terribly.
They treat gay people terribly. They also treat Christians really badly too.
Is that a pipe bomb?
Who's that one like really hot like robot lady creature? I can't remember her name.
Well, that's very vague. There's a bunch of hot robots.
Yeah, exactly.
What about them?
No. It's a woman who like does robotics, and she has a YouTube channel. And she's Chinese and has naturally big tits somehow.
Ooh.
The first thing you bring up about her is her giant tits. Okay.
Please calm down.
Yes.
The pipe bomb.
Hey! By the way, whose clicker is that? By the way,
who is that? That's driving me nuts.
I'm packing cigarettes.
Please.
Okay,
it'll be over soon. It'll be over soon. Just ignore it.
I'm sorry, but that kind of thing just drives me batshit.
I said it'll be over soon. Just go with it.
Lady.
Okay.
That's
very bad.
Horrible.
Okay, I cannot find this person.
It's Trucker.
But they outed her as
Trucker. I will kick you off for harassment of a young lady. Damn it.
That's fine.
Milady.
Trucker. Okay, So, all right. So, who is this person you're talking about? Who's like clearly in your porn folder or something?
Hey! I only whack off to Asian women, not Asian, Black women and Hispanic women.
Well, I'm sorry, but you know, as a person
who be racist anymore.
I'm sorry, but as a person who wants to be dominated by an Asian woman, you have offended me right now.
Wait a minute. If somebody wants to be dominated by an Asian woman,
as someone.
I was about to say, like, people who like Asian women tend to have a domination of them fetish, not the other way around.
Well, I'm special, okay? So, you know, stop. We're not all the same.
We don't all look like Andy No.
You want to date an Asian dominatrix?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
All two of them that exist.
Teach your own.
They exist. There was one in Charlie's Angels.
Oh.
Dude, I'll give you like that. Lucy, I'll give you that one. She is fine.
Oh, that was 20 years ago. How does she look today? I don't know.
Let me check.
Probably lots of Botox, let's be honest.
Probably. I'm sure she still looks bangable, but I don't know.
All right.
Well, Asian women either age incredibly well or like fucking cheese. Like curdled cheese.
You mean milk?
The fuck?
I don't know, but
she looks fine now.
Yeah, but what was that?
Okay,
the original Charlie's Angels movies were.
She looks really white in that photo. Except the eyes.
Because they're absolutely terrible movies, but they basically are just kind of softcore porn.
No, they're like they know they're cheesy. They know they're campy. They admit what they are.
Yeah.
Unlike that horrendous feminist one.
Well, aren't they all
it was funny at Trucker.
Wait, one at a time.
Technically speaking, the Charlie's Angels franchise has been feminist for a while, but that one in particular was bad. I
trolled I trolled
Go
Elizabeth Banks on our Twitter feed. After the movie flopped, I posted, "Girl, I didn't know your movie could suck like that, Charlie. How your angels could flop like that."
That's great.
Thank you. I'm here all day.
But why are they called Charlie's Angels if there's no Charlie?
No, Charlie was in it. He was the villain. Charlie was the villain of Charlie's Angels. For Christ's sakes!
Why didn't you just name Charlie a woman? Because Charlie is also a female's name as well, apparently.
Charlie.
By the end of it, Charlie was a female.
Oh, I forgot. You have to remember, I haven't seen that movie since when it first came out, and I barely even remember it. It's that boring and forgettable.
Oh, by the way, Darkon, did you show Trucker here what I sent you?
Yeah, I sent it. And
thanks.
See you later, Loudmouth.
No. Wait. I don't.
Oh wait, bye, Loudmouth. Love you.
Bye.
I thought that wasn't what was her face?
Loudmouth got a phone call. That was his deal.
Who's the butler? Bastion? Was that his name from Charlie's Angels? I thought he was the villain. Patrick Stewart's character. What was the Boswick? Bosnia? Bosnia. I love that villain, Bosnia.
Charlie's Angels.
2019. What was the? Who's their assistant guy in the original and all that jazz? The originals. I thought he was the villain, not Charlie himself.
Wait a minute, Charlie's Angels. I'm coming up with a 2000 title here.
2019. Just look up Charlie's Angels 2019.
The 2019. Okay, got it pulled up. Yeah, budget was 48 to 55 million. Box office was 73.3. Yeah, ouch. So cast. Damn it, where's the cast? Dang it, production. Oh, cast. Kristen Stewart as Sabina Wilson, Naomi Scott, Patrick Stewart as John Bosley.
Yeah, Bosley, yeah. Oh wow! Well, that didn't take long. That did not take long at all. Well, maybe it's the wrong movie. I'm amazed that Pluto TV already has the Charlie's Angels 2019 movie for free. Oh no! Wait, never mind. No, it's the 2000s one.
Ah,
it's just that Google is stupid when they list movies.
fucking stupid.
But yeah, I thought Bosley or whatever was the villain, not Charlie.
Well, I thought Bosley was Charlie. Isn't Charlie a title?
No, Charlie's the guy on the mic that says, "Angels, go to the prison and find a thing. Here's the stuff. Now go." Bosley's like.
By the way, I'm getting blowjobs from your mom.
I remember there was the Robot Chicken sketch for Charlie's Angels where it was revealed to be some sweaty nerd or whatever. It's like.
It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense. I mean, to be fair, who else would probably get a bunch of free, attractive women to get in skimpy outfits and do stuff?
Me with $1 million?
Well, yeah, of course, I know you. I mean, in general, fat.
Oh.
No, fat nerd or skinny nerd?
Chubby. Getting fat.
Either that.
I have a beer gut.
Okay, correction. We're missing out on the other one who could potentially be Charlie. Old, creepy guy. Because old people are disgusting.
Picard.
Yeah, because old people are disgusting. Let's face it.
How dare you? I have banged many an old. No.
Elderly people, are just take up too much oxygen. Okay, they're old. They can't.
Why do you think China made COVID-19? And now DarkCon's video has been taken down.
Wait, I wasn't paying attention. What? I thought I heard.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. I don't want them to die for that. I want to laugh at them. That's what I want to do with the elderly.
You want slapstick comedy as they die.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I do.
What?
Be like the Three Stooges, but with more wrinkles.
Yes, I want to. I remember it was in the regular media.
Catch it. Chucker, shut up. You're scaring off the good goyle.
You guys won't stop talking about sex, and I'm extremely uncomfortable.
Come back.
We're not even talking about sex. We're talking about elderly people.
No, it's okay. Sorry, Kat, but we like to have some edgy fun on these streams.
Come back, Cat Chat. You're the only thing preventing this from being a sausage fest.
Wait, no, but you're here.
I'm goofing.
You're here.
Yeah, I know. We still do sausage
Oh
fest.
no!
I was gonna say, like, what are you biologically?
No, she's special. Okay,
it's a sausage fest, even if there's just one taco.
one taco.
I like
okay.
Taco.
Even if there's just one, then it's not a sausage fest. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's not a sausage fest.
But anyway,
Sorry.
hey guys, sorry to do this, but I think it is getting this stream is getting a little bit long.
Yeah.
Really, you think?
3 hours and 44 minutes. It's been fun, and next live stream I will try to make it a little bit more subject oriented. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
maybe
watch the video. I'll give you some suggestions if you want to.
Oh, by all means, come on. I mean, that's why I got you in the group chat to give me suggestions. Same goes with you, Koi Monster. Give suggestions.
I have a good one we could do next time. Are we gonna do this next week?
Probably. I'll have to take a look at my
Okay, I have a good one. I have a really good one. I won't spoil it here because I want to keep it a surprise, but I'll tell you after the stream.
Okay.
We must discuss our Lord and Savior guts from Berserk.
Come on, do the skull.
Okay, first of all, you're talking about simply for the wrong anime protagonist. Ryuko from Kill la Kill is easily the better one.
I have not seen Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill is one of my favorite animes, and it should never have worked for me at all. But I love it so much.
Yeah, I became a simp for Guts instantly, basically.
Guts has some
God, I can get a dog and Viva Pinata.
I will say Guts has some really cool armor later on. Like
the Berserk armor, but it will kill you horribly if you don't use it right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got to get my laundry out of the dryer, and then I'm gonna go get myself some dinner. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and watch Coco while enjoying dinner, because that's like
Coco Melon
Pixar movie that I have not watched aside from Good Dinosaur, and I don't really intend to watch Good Dinosaur. But
yeah, it's not.
Let me know how Coco is.
Good Dinosaur. Coco's decent.
Let me know. Though. I'm just always worried when like Disney or Pixar branch off into like other cultures-based videos, because God, that can get awful.
You want me to tell you my opinion about Coco?
No spoilers.
Well, I haven't watched it, but I'm just asking Trucker.
Okay.
You want me to tell you what my opinion on Coco is after I've watched it, Trucker?
Yeah. I gotta say, Moana was great, but that was because, fisherman point of view.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Loudmouth likes it a whole lot. Like, if that opinion means anything to you. But
what kind of fucking underhanded shit was that towards Loudmouth?
I'm sorry, Loudmouth. If you're watching, I did not mean that as an insult or anything to you. I did not mean that. Oh god. Now that you mention it, it did sound kind of condescending. Sorry,
Right?
I did not mean it to come off that way, but I mean, okay, let me put it this way. Surely you do value Loudmouth Review's opinion, Trucker.
Yes.
There's an opinion right there for you to, take, for you to, like, consider as far as whether or not you want to watch Coco.
All right.
Better?
Yes.
Loudmouth, don't lambaste me for that. I'm sorry, dude. But anyway, I guess before we go, if you want to scroll up for it. Sorry, Zach, I'm probably not going to do that. Sorry. Yeah, then again, it is getting long. Yeah, that's what she said. But anyway, one last question
No,
about
it's not.
movies before we actually end the stream. What would you guys suggest about Zack Snyder cut?
It's a very good movie, in my
I haven't
opinion.
seen it.
It's infinitely more competent than the theatrical release.
All right.
That's not saying much. I realize that. There was some things in DC, like that showed up in the DC comics that excited me that I won't mention. But at the same time, Zack Snyder was basically forced to introduce like 3 characters. And he did as good as he could with that.
Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman.
Yeah, because keep in mind, like, it's still working from the perspective that, the Aquaman movie hadn't come out yet.
Right. But what does a person have to do in order to see it? Do we have to get an HBO Max account?
Go to fmovies.com.
Oh no, we're gonna get shut down.
Oh no!
Wait, Darkon, do you have HBO Max?
No, I do not. I have the bundle pack between Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus.
Oh,
I don't know
you support communism. Oh,
yeah. Sorry, I got that mostly because of Mandalorian for one, and whatever newest release that Pixar has to give out.
So you're gonna pay $30 to see Raya?
No,
Raya's not that bad. I'm not gonna explain how I watched it, but Raya's not that bad. But it's not worth $30 if I were to pay $30 for
I keep on hearing bad things about it. The only thing I gotta say is, hey, at least Disney came out with something new. That being Raya the Last Dragon.
It's not great. Like, there's a lot of moments that are really stupid. There's a lot of like rushed character development and really just cringy moments. But at the same time, it's like for what it is, it's not bad at all. I will say one thing that ruins it for me are the faces on characters. The realistic bodies meshed with those Disney faces look absolutely appalling. It looks fine with the dragons, but it does not look good with the humans.
Look, all I'm going to say is, yo ho, the pirate's life is the life for me.
Oh,
all right.
Why did I not get that at first?
And on that note, I think I'm going to try to see if I can if I can get a physical copy of the Snyder Cut rented out somewhere. Don't know if it'll be like soon though. We'll probably have to wait a while until they actually
the library.
Well, not just the library, but any video shop.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, thank you all for joining me. This has been very fun, even though it was kind of sporadic and random. All the different
that's my
topics that we were
fault.
talking about. And thank you, Coin Monster, for showcasing us your little art project for us to background.
I liked it. It was cool.
So anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you later. And last thing, Trucker, join SFN this Tuesday.
See ya.
If you
Maybe.
can. But anyway,
bye.
God bless.